lot of it's like funny, stupid 911 calls. And there was one I scrolled across on TikTok today.
Yeah.
It's like, 911, what's your emergency? I have a bottle of conditioner in me.
Yeah.
And she's like, in me? She's like, what? It's like, well, my wife and I belong to a wholesale club, and we went and we got a full-size bottle of whatever conditioner. And we were in the shower and messed around, and we put it in, and it went all the way in.
Yeah, we're going.
And she's like, he's like, yeah, in my behind. It's like, oh, does it hurt? He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just a little surprised. And she's like, yeah, I was me too.
You're being so kosher that you're like in my no places.
Yeah, he was being like super, like a person who wouldn't do that. He's talking
very,
like that.
like watered down.
He's like, sir, we're gonna get an ambulance to you. Are you okay? Is it uncomfortable? He's like, no, it's fine. I just kind of want some help getting it out. He's like, oh no, I feel it. And she's like, is everything okay? He's like, oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. And then you just hear it in the back and you hear a sneeze, then you hear a giant bottle.
This is a finish. This is a
yeah. You hear a giant bottle hit like a shower floor. It's like, oh, it came out. I'm good, thanks. It's like the one, did you hear about the one with there's another one from that show about a pagan pastry. So this lady calls in, and she's like, yeah, there's like some cult activity or something going on across the street. And it's like, can you explain to me what's happening? It's like, I don't know, they're beating some sort of horse effigy and there's pagan pastries and, or he's like, hold on, he's like, is it at this address? And he's like, yeah, he's like, ma'am, that's a birthday party. She's like, oh, well, I'd like to report a hate crime. It's like, what's going on now, ma'am? He's like, I didn't get an invitation to the birthday party.
Oh man, this smells dangerous.
Oh, God.
It smells good.
Do it.
I bet it smells great.
Hit it.
Okay, hold on.
I won't finish mine so you can try.
It smells like
I'm
tequila
so
with like
excited
Sounds great.
that
normal-
you guys are doing this
normal margarita, but if
disgusting
the salt rim was like laundry detergent.
Alright, maybe I take back my
Maybe
statement.
you want to like pass on this one?
How is it?
It's actually, these are not bad.
They're not bad. The smell is usually like not the best.
It tastes
thing.
exactly how I
No,
described it.
drink more of it. You are not
Try
going to
it
get
out.
the
Try it
entire thing.
out. Alright.
It tastes exactly how I described it.
That's a mark.
A margarita with a little bit of laundry detergent on the rim.
I think it's missing like the ice, and that's pretty much it.
Speaking of ice,
Awful.
ice baby, why don't you tell us about your shirt? How'd you
Yeah,
come
Besides
across
the fact
that
that it's trash.
situation where you would never wear camouflage,
I
but
fucking hate camo.
how'd you come across
can't see
buying
it.
that?
But-
Like, I know it, but does everybody know the story?
I think Travis knows the story.
I know the story.
So I think we've played you the song before, John, where
Well, vanilla
it's like
ice.
a Vanilla Ice song.
But it's not Ice
It's
Baby.
like
It's actually a
or-
really good song.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Which kind of sucks. Like,
Yeah, and he was just wearing this in the video, and he had the sleeves cut off.
The Waffle House and
And
everything.
we were all drunk, and we were like, "Oh, this song kind of slaps." And then, yeah,
we were just getting like a hit out of the shirt, and it was like
I need that shirt.
linked to buy the shirt, and we're all okay.
straight from Waffle House.
That's awesome.
So I was like, yeah, and I've worn this is the second time I've worn this, and I'm like, this like what I said when I came down here, I was like, I kind of regret this shirt.
I like it.
But it's fun.
I like it. I like everything that you're wearing right now, right? Is all the things that we love,
Right.
except for like the Chrysalia sweater. You could have like come out here with the sweater, taken
With
it
the
off,
no
and been
dance.
like wearing the Waffle House like shirt underneath that. And like, cause it's like the strip club veterans like hat, right? Which
So
I
where-
take
where
to
do-
heart
where
like
do you-
crazy.
Where do you guys get that?
We got
The-
this
Where
came
did
from
you
the
get
2
this?
Chainz store.
What?
Two Chainz?
Yeah, like 2
No
Chainz the rapper.
way.
Yeah, it came from his merch shop.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like it was funny because we were in the liquor store. The guy was like, "I like your shirt," and then he like looked at my hat, like, "I like your hat too." And I was like, "All right."
I'll work it. Well, and like the hat, like people forget. Like I know like a group of people obviously that are like, oh, I don't like that you guys like present this in the way that you present like what you guys do, even though we all do it for fun like all the time.
Right.
Right. Like you don't have to be like a strip club veteran. You don't have to be like. I'm like, yeah. Why would we not be that?
We've all been there.
Like, I
We've
love
been-
going to strip clubs, and I'm never embarrassed about it. Like, even my own parents are like, Did you go to a strip club this year? Because it seems weird that if you didn't, like,
Well,
did you get your chance?
well, I don't
Did you
know
get your
about-
strip club chance?
I don't know about your guys' scene, but like where I came from, from Iowa, right? So we would basically end the night. Hey, it's 2:00. We're all drunk. We don't want to go home. We're going to the strip club.
You dilly-dally to the strip club.
So let's buy a 30 and take
Dilly-dilly.
it there because I don't know if your strip clubs like sell beer.
You can't do it here.
Well, you have to
It
like
depends
bring your
what
own
kind
beer.
of strip club. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Our
there's
laws are so much
There's a lot of
different.
places that are like
Our
that.
laws
You
are
can
so
bring your
different
own
here,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, so they literally
treat
had
them
like
like bars
tubs.
here.
They give you ice. They give you everything, but you bring your own beer, pour a 30 in, and then.
What? That's
have
way
at it.
cheaper. What is
And-
your
oh, yeah, it was real
cost to
cheap.
get in at these strip
It
clubs?
was like 15 to get in.
Oh, that's not even bad.
Yeah. So you get in, and then you're there till like 4 in the morning.
Colorado
Right?
screws you so
Yeah.
fucking bad.
So-
Do you need some help, son?
You got it.
You
You
got
got
it,
it.
okay.
Got it?
But yeah,
Like
my first
Colorado
day.
screws you so bad. Like
That
you're
was-
paying like a $20 cover charge, and then you got to pay $10 a Corona. Basically, that's the last time I was at like spending my own money at a strip club. That's what it was like. Well, if I'm
Yeah.
spending somebody else's money at a strip club, I don't care. I'm like whatever.
It was more of a
It's not my
place to
money.
just go and like drink after bars, right?
Right.
Because it was the only thing that was open.
Oh, we go
And-
so we
yeah.
can. Well, and it's
But
not
I mean,
even.
of course, there's like scenery.
You know,
but-
yeah, obviously, like the scenery, we love it.
Certain
Like
ambiance.
we love the scenery, we love the ambiance, but it's
Yeah.
never like because we're. Well, I can't even like put myself in that moment. It's not because we're like going there to like be like gross, disgusting like people about it. Everybody's been to a strip club and seen like a person that you're like, dude, stop jacking off.
Travis was living
And
in
like,
Chicago one time.
okay, maybe not you.
I don't know.
And,
If
like-
I don't know if I've seen that either.
Oh, I have. Dick, have you? Have you
No.
ever? Yeah, definitely.
No,
So
no, if
like,
you start telling a story, a certain somebody will chime into the chat.
yeah, well, maybe. I'm trying to
It's a
rope
little.
him in.
It's a little early for Eric to be on though.
Well, like right, like
Oh,
you
very
see
well.
somebody,
Somebody who's there,
My
huh?
brother's
you see
story is
somebody
great.
like
So
getting
funny.
like a moment where they're like coming in their pants, even though like nobody's like touching them or like anything like that. And obviously, me and Dick don't go to the strip club, so we can like go and have private dances. We're there for the ambiance, and we're there because
Right.
like we want to
Good
have like a
music,
party,
lights, buzz,
and
yeah.
that, and because we usually have such a giant good time that the girls that work at these places are also having like such a really giant good time with us. So all the things that are going on are like good things. And when you meet like a cog in the machine, we're like, no, you're not a part of
Yeah,
this
see
right
you
now.
later.
All good
And
things,
you're
all
not
good
like
things.
here. But like everybody else is having like a really good time. You end up spending a lot less money. You end up having like having an insanely
Yeah.
good time. And you end up, if you're lucky enough, like a couple of times that we've been to strip clubs, talking the strip club into bringing things in that are not normally at the strip club.
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
hookahs
for sure.
or cigars or anything like that.
Right.
So like you get a moment and you spend like a little bit of cash, but then you don't have to spend like actually that much money later.
Yeah.
You get a lot of freebies when you are the people that people are coming here to hang
Right.
out with.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's really the thing. I definitely. I don't like the private dance scenario. Like it's
No.
not my jam.
I think it's really
We've all done
awkward.
it, but it's like, yeah.
I don't think we've all done it at all.
You
You
didn't do
have. You have. I want what
I'm sure you
for
got
what?
asked.
Yeah, no, Mike. There are one of our friends.
Mike's fine. You can
Okay.
say Mike.
Uh,
There's plenty of mics. in
there's
this
so
world.
many mics. But one of our friends was like, on one of his birthdays, was like, let's go to the strip club and I'm going to buy you a dance. I don't want to dance. I'm going to buy you a private dance. I don't want to dance. And then we were there. Well, I pulled out $500 in cash. You're going to get a fucking dance. Okay, so what I said was, I don't want to dance. And then the strip club was like, we're closing.
So this story gets even better, actually.
It actually does get really better. But
Sure.
like the idea of me, like I don't want a private dance because what's going to come out of that? You're like, I would never pay for a private dance because the only thing that's going to come out of that is me sitting down and having a conversation with somebody over like a glass of wine. So like it's not even a moment where
Right.
like I'm like, you're paying like, and I would never pay for it. So whoever's paying for this is paying like $100, $200
For the
for
stripper
me
to
to
take
have
a
a
break.
conversation. Yeah.
It's a waste of money. I'll tell you
So I'm
that.
like,
Right now.
don't like worry about it. And like, whoever is like trying to force this situation is forcing it because of how they are thinking. They're not even going to be a part of it. So how they're thinking in their
Yeah,
head it's going to
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It doesn't matter how it's actually going to go. It's just like they're getting off on the idea of like how this is going.
Right.
Like for because and they're sealing it under as like they're doing me a favor, but like I don't need a girl grinding up on me to have any. I don't.
Type of
Yeah,
good time.
yeah,
You know
what-
I mean? Yeah.
It's
I'm
you know,
just- it's
you're
not
not
like my
attracted to
jam.
like women in that way at all.
I'm not
So
attracted
it's-
to women at all. Like
Yeah.
not even in like a kosher space. I
Yeah,
don't
so
even,
it's
like, go
it's one of
somewhere.
those things, and like
I
like
guess friends.
I am, but I still don't like private dances. The idea like it's
They're
just weird to me.
They are weird.
I don't really like the whole idea with it. Yeah, I've had plenty of private dances over the fucking years, but it's like half of them I've never paid for either. It was like birthdays, like here.
Well, it's kind of like you're paying like $100 or $200 for me to
It's
sit down
actually
and
not that
ask them
expensive.
how their job is and if they like it or not, and like what they want to be when they grow up, and like what, like. So is it worth it to be like a stripper? Because if it is, maybe I'm thinking about it. Like, how much money do you make a year? And then like, how much money do I make a year? And then like, maybe we can like, share some numbers here. But in reality, like, to think like, oh, I'm gonna like get you one. You're gonna love it. Yeah, I'm gonna love it because maybe I gain some insight on what I'm doing wrong in my life. When it's so easy to do this,
That's very interesting.
See,
like no problem.
so you speak about birthdays, right? And I'm sure you've seen it and maybe been a part of it, but we've taken people to strip clubs as like on their birthdays, and the next thing you know, you tell the strippers, they tell their friends, the whole club's around it. And then it turns into, let's pull him on stage, right? And they get him on a chair, and next thing you know, this guy's getting like nutsack punched with like a
It's
booty
kind of
in
one of
his
those,
dick.
like,
It's
let's have
oh
fun
my
situation.
god!
I would say that
let's see how much we can ruin this guy's life.
the
in
one
like 10
time
minutes.
that I was at a strip club because it was somebody's birthday
Yeah.
was that it was not going to go down that way because anybody can see a thirsty person, and if you're thirsty you're going to spend money, right?
Oh, there's plenty of thirsty
yeah.
guys
So,
at the fucking
like-
Totally.
Oh,
my
it's
God.
your birthday. When I called the strip club, because when we were going to go last year on my birthday, they were like, it's your birthday? Oh, they're going to love this.
Yeah, they eat it
And
up.
I was
They're
like,
oh,
yeah, totally.
Oh,
But like
yeah.
when we went, when it was his birthday, it was not going to be like that at all. When we were going to go because it was my birthday, it would have been a very different situation. Absolutely. The amount of money that we would have not spent and also spent because we were having a good time would have been very fucking different than that night in particular. Because that night in particular, he was just like, I'm like the fucking man. It's my birthday and I'm the man, and nobody was having that. It's like you walk in
You don't
with
want
the
that ever.
mentality. You can't walk in without like obviously the insane like aura behind you that you have all this money. If you're gonna have a bad attitude, have the money behind it. But like if you're like, I mean, I'm thinking about coming there and it's like my birthday. Like, oh no, we already said that it was your birthday. Like, absolutely. Are you a woman? Absolutely. You're about to get like nose deep in some vagina,
I think
even
if
though
we
you
did,
didn't
like, a
like
strip
it. Like,
club,
no
like,
problem. Like, I would have been like,
3 or
oh.
4 times without a girl, because it's always more fun to bring like a girl up, like a lot of, because like
Makes
again,
your
it's,
night a lot easier.
the strippers like are more
Well, they
comfortable.
gravitate towards
Yeah.
the people that have like girls with them.
Yeah, it makes them much more
It is,
comfortable in
yeah.
that situation, like
It
that kind of
is.
stuff. So it's like it's always fun to bring them along. Like
And it's more of like their gauging aspect, right? It's
Yeah.
Like, hey, let me talk to the girl first, and let me
Well,
meet the guys.
how are
type
they
of
treating
thing,
the
yeah.
woman that's with them?
Right.
And is this like a group
Yes.
of men that I really want to like facilitate myself with?
sure.
And like you can gauge men on so many different levels anyway. But
Right.
there's like a set standard of how you like gauge men. Like, oh, does he act like this? I don't want it. Does he act like this? Maybe. Does he act like this? Yeah, we should probably like approach. Does he act like this? We're absolutely gonna approach. Does he act like this? We're gonna fucking approach that guy because he's a sucker, and I bet he's
Right,
going
yeah,
through a divorce
there's-
or a
But
breakup.
at the same time, you got the people around and about, like, ooh, who do I see? Like, off
Right.
in the distance, like, ooh, how you doing?
I-
You're off by your own, like, you know.
I just generally just like I go there
It's,
and I make sure everybody's having a good fucking time.
Yeah.
Well,
And
That's what
Yes.
it should be, right?
Well, you
makes
bring
life-
a woman with you, and it's like such a good gauge.
yeah,
Do they like that girl? Is she are they respecting that woman?
right.
Is she dating one of these guys? Is everybody still respecting that woman even though she's dating these guys?
Right.
Correct.
Then I bet we'll be in like safe hands. I can't even imagine, like, strippers are sex workers, right?
They are.
That's how they're
Pretty
classified.
much, yeah.
Which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. So when I like how dangerous that can be, putting the label as like a sex worker on like a job, when you gauge that and with a certain caliber of man, that's the craziest thing in the entire world, how scary that can be. And so
Yeah.
like gauging that when you bring a woman with you. Imagine bringing a woman with you and everybody's just like kind of ignoring her and disrespecting her. And like as a woman, as like a stripper, would you approach those men? I wouldn't.
I don't think
I would be like,
I don't think
absolutely
you
not.
should.
I would be like, no. But if like everybody's like, oh my god, and we're like all in it together, and that woman's like a part of the party, and everybody's like having a good time, I'd be like, approach that group. That
Right.
group is like safer.
Yeah, it really is.
There might
for
be
sure.
a bad egg in the bunch, but like the group is safer than approaching a group of men with a woman where the woman is not being acknowledged.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely like one of those things in the gauge. And again, like I go there to make sure everyone's having a good time, regardless of the situation. Like again, I like a table dance, that kind of shit. Like the whole like let's talk and like make everyone like rowdy and have a good time. Like
Perfect.
I've had there's plenty of stories like when you meet Eben, you'll like understand like how we operate. Like he and I like are very very close, and when we go to strip clubs, it's different. It's very much like fucking like up here. Everybody's having a wild time. Nobody's having like a thing. We're bringing other people, even though there's like creepy guys that are like, I don't know, I just like to see titty kind of situations.
Yeah, but you
plenty of
you
those.
keep the
There's plenty
creeps
of
at
those.
bay as well, right?
Yeah,
So like
you keep
I mean,
them like once you start like showing them how to have a good time in a strip club, and then they start having a good time, and then they understand that like, oh, this is not a weird place, and I shouldn't be weird here.
well, and
I
there's
should stop
some
doing
liberties
that.
to showing up with a really good group as well.
Right.
Right. So like me as like a woman, I have a lot more freedom at a strip club than like men do. So like
She's all up in the fucking like dressing room.
absolutely, absolutely, and I am like so like I'm more often than not I'm allowed to touch the strippers, right? So like when we were all at the strip club that one year when we all went, that huge group of people.
When you
when
bring
you
25
found me-
people to a strip
Yeah.
club,
It's
in
never a
fucking
good
limo,
idea. It's never a good idea.
Yikes.
But when
It
you
was mostly a good time.
when you found me, where was I? I was standing next to like this girl's like stage, and I was like, "Can I do it?" With just a wad of ones, snapping like $1 by $1 bills into her G-string, just having a blast of a time.
What's up, Dan?
Dan, what's up?
Hi, Dan.
That's my brother-in-law. He's pretty dope.
He is dope.
He is pretty dope.
He is like pretty much one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
What's up, Dan?
You met nicer people than this?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! I feel if I met somebody even more nice than Dan and like Amanda, I would feel bad to meet them. I'd be like, I'm so sorry that you're this nice because they're so nice.
Dan's nice. Amanda's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Amanda can suck it. No, Amanda's dope as
Amanda's
hell.
the worst.
Amanda's dope as
She's just
fuck.
down to the core, just an awful
You're
person.
the worst. You're the worst. Fuck you. You're the worst.
We're eating chicken.
You're eating
We're
chicken.
eating chicken.
Good. I hope she
Fried
knows what I
chicken, mashed potatoes, Popeye's biscuits. I don't know. How dry is the biscuit scenario? Damn. So we can't eat Popeyes?
said. Well, just you were describing a stereotypical.
I said fried chicken, mashed potatoes. This is only all the
I didn't
things
hear,
that
I
I
didn't hear
like.
mashed potatoes.
So
That's a little more white.
Okay, so we had this discussion a little like
Live for
actually
mashed
me and Sarah had
potatoes.
this discussion last week, but the fucking like stereotypes of like like African Americans, that kind of shit. Where, like they like fried chicken and watermelon.
We
Who
had
the
this
fuck doesn't like watermelon and
Drink
fried chicken?
Kool-Aid.
That's also
I
very
like
true.
that shit.
It's
Fuck,
so true.
come on.
Yeah,
Like,
who
who
the fuck
is
doesn't like
not
this shit?
liking watermelon? And also, when we were having a conversation earlier, we were like, if you're told to bring
Oh,
paper
yeah.
plates to the barbecue and not a dish, it's because you fucked up. And we were talking about how white people at one point used and we see it today, like white people will like make a potato salad and put like raisins in it or something.
Oh my God.
What are you
Gross.
No,
doing?
nobody wants this.
And everybody in like the
or the white
Midwest
people
is
that are
all, what are
afraid
you
of, like,
doing?
pepper.
Yeah.
I'm
for
just
sure
kidding,
I'm
Amanda,
saying,
I
what
love
are
you.
doing?
This is a very white person thing to do,
Yeah.
but not in like
Super
where we
white
come from
person
and
Midwest,
not like
don't put raisins in your goddamn potato salad.
don't put
Right.
raisins
Don't
in
put raisins in
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
I'll disagree. Like an actual salad, I like raisins. A little bit of raisins. On
You're
it.
like
I
crazy.
mean, maybe a salad with like crunchy. Like,
Craisins. I love craisins.
Craisins.
Craisins are better,
But
maybe
craisins are not raisins,
they're not in a cranberry.
It's
They're
a cranberry
yes.
and not a grape.
and they're full of sugar.
way
Everything
worse than
dried out
raisins.
is full of
Actually,
sugar.
I've looked at it. Yeah, it's way more packed full of sugar.
All like dried fruit is full of sugar. It's
Right.
fermented like crazy, so it's all sugar.
That's why it's good.
Yeah.
Not bad for you.
But
I
if you
want
ever,
craisins.
if you ever had like
My order next week from the grocery store is gonna have craisins.
I'm just saying that don't put raisins in your potato salad, and try your best not to put dried fruit in any kind of thing you're bringing to a barbecue. I don't know why people think that
You're
this is a
bringing that
good thing
bullshit
to do.
trail mix with a bunch of dried fruit in it.
Yeah.
It's like if you were invited to if you were, but first
Nobody
I
should
do.
ever do fruitcake.
Nobody
Ever.
should ever do
Ever.
fruitcake.
It's
I don't
good
even know what
paper,
that. No, it's, yeah, it is. I think
For your
in
fucking
Yeah.
trash
like
can.
January 2nd or 3rd is annual like throw the fruitcake like day because people get all these fruitcakes like during the holidays
That's so
and then it's like
gross.
throw it out day. But like
Who's
don't
eating
ever
that
put
shit?
like
never thought that shit
don't
up.
ever
I
put
mean,
like dried fruit in something unless
Well-
it's trail mix. That's fine.
I bet
No.
back in the day
I like
when like
raisins with my M&Ms in that like really garbage trail mix that actually doesn't
Okay,
fill
like
your body
raisins
very
are
well.
fine. I think raisins are okay.
I
as
bet
well.
back in the day when flavor was limited and culinary like arts weren't as advanced, fruitcake was the shit.
I think
Yeah,
culinary.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
ever
Yo,
the
I
case.
guarantee.
No
Go back.
way.
I bet there was a year where it was like the fucking bomb.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
Or it's
want-
like, hey, we got fruit. How do we make
This is a
like,
very
flour?
interesting scenario.
Like, oh.
What if we had like a person like Gordon Ramsay make a fruitcake?
I bet he'd be
good
like,
fruitcake.
fuck
Should we
fruitcake.
ask? We should probably ask.
He's got a
Put that
TikTok.
tweet out there like
He's got a TikTok. He fucks with that a lot.
But let's think about this. Like, right? So,
Oh, man.
in the moment when we were actually talking about this, we were like, there was a moment when white people came out with a cookbook and none of the things were like very good. And we're talking about like fruitcakes, jello molds, and jello molds at this point in time had everything in them. You could make like
Jell-O
a
with
tuna
celery
salad
in it?
jello mold, like all kinds of like garbage inside jello.
small bullshit.
And so, are we really dealing, like, we weren't dealing with a culinary catastrophe. We were dealing with white people making a culinary cookbook, and it wasn't okay.
So the only good Jello
And
I've
that's
ever
because,
had.
like, if you go to Hawaii,
Jell-O
you guys
sauce.
have Spam, and I'm not gonna, like,
No.
agree with that.
the only good Jello is
But, like,
Jello.
you
No.
guys aren't,
I mean,
like,
I love
Hawaiian people are not, like, you know what we should do? Throw some sushi in a Jello mold.
Oh,
No.
gross.
Just
disgusting.
But white people in America were like, what can we make with Jello and
I
throw
can tell you
everything
right
inside
now.
of it?
So the best
Nobody,
Jell-O I've ever
no
had.
other cultures were like this.
I want to hear this best Jello ever because he's very adamant about it. I mean,
Because we make it every holiday. It's
It's
every
gonna be
holiday
really good or
season,
just-
right? So it's
no.
basically.
So it's already a
It's gonna
biased
be
opinion.
a Midwest white person thing.
It is, and it's so good. You haven't tried.
about to be
Don't
Midwest
knock it till
white
you
people.
try it, I'm
Crazy.
telling you. So really, the way it's made, right? You make the Jello the same fucking way, right? It's got the same ingredients, but you have to add in like ginger
Vodka?
ale. No.
So like the
Gin-
bubbly, I've never
Yes,
had this.
yes.
I actually have this.
So what happens within the process
The
of
only
like
thing you should be adding is
gelatizing or whatever the fuck it is, right? It solidifies within the mold itself. So when you eat the Jello, it's fizzy.
Okay, how do you
Right?
feel about jelloed meat?
So that was a
Jello
weird. That was a
meat.
new. That was a super weird.
So if you
like,
put meat into this moment, is it still the
gross.
same?
No, this is more like mango and like
Like
orange.
make a normal meatloaf. And
So
then you
you're
just
adding-
put, like, some
Oh my
jello
god, you
powder
just
in it.
ruined it all.
You're adding fruit. You're adding fruit into an already fruit flavored product,
I
right?
think
Jeez.
a culinary catastrophe.
Culinary
Yeah, if you
catastrophe.
put meat in it for sure. Jeez.
If you're putting meat in fucking Jello, fuck you and fuck your family.
I agree.
One thing
agree.
I would give a go is like some sort of like spicy like ghost pepper jello, just for fun.
Okay, that would be funny.
We
You have
should
like
probably try this, but I really do think that none of us should be eating it. But who is the guy down the block?
Oh, his
Is
name
it-
is also John.
Yeah, John. Because John
fuck
will
yeah.
eat anything. You
Literally
tell John to
the
put something
mo-
in his mouth, he'll eat
We
it.
talked about earlier. Actually, you actually have a basic white person name.
I have
too.
a super common
Uh,
name.
But you had the most popular boy's name for literally like 10 years.
You know how
15
many
years.
Johns are in my work? It's
Oh,
like,
they're just
God,
everywhere.
What-
We
what
all
are you
have
talking
that
about?
white person name. Like, you happen to not be fully white, but you have a white person name. Travis is a very white person
My
name.
middle name makes up for it.
It's fair. That is fair. Your middle name definitely is a not white person.
So funny.
scenario.
Anybody? What the fuck is that?
A middle name's
I'm just
all
happy
the way,
that when
girl.
like
I think you should
yeah,
show
I
it to
love your middle
John.
name.
See if you can
I
say it.
And see
think-
if you can say it right.
I love like the moments where people are like, if you had the middle name Elizabeth, like all these things, I'm all, oh good, Ray doesn't fall under it because they should have included that as like a white girl middle name.
It
Like
is.
no fucking problem. The amount of women that I know whose middle name are
Jessie.
Ray, I'm all.
The non-white
The other one.
Oh.
You do have.
I mean, it was right in the middle.
You do have two white names.
3. If you count
Yeah,
Davis.
Davis is definitely a white name.
Kanakoa,
It's not bad.
Pretty close.
right?
All right, so say it.
It's Kanikola.
So it was
All right,
spot
pretty close.
on.
It's
Right.
close.
It was not spot on.
Is it kind of cool?
I mean,
He
not
has an
that- I
accent,
have
guys.
an
It's not his
accent,
fault.
right?
He's from Iowa.
The alphabet works
He says his
differently.
name's wrong. He says A's wrong.
That A that you saw doesn't mean an A.
Here, you want it? Here. Like, that's
So-
easy.
He
Let
says
me
like
give you a
can
Pronounce
instead
it.
of
So Kanakoa, right?
Kanikola.
kind of.
I
cool.
White
thought
people
that's what I
say
said.
white people say Kanikola.
I thought that's what I just said.
It might have been. I don't
How
know.
am I not hearing the difference?
Because like traditionally it's Kane instead of Kane.
Oh, Kanekoa.
Yeah.
All right.
But mostly
Okay,
it was
got
Oh, so it's not
Put
the
the
A,
yay
that's the
without the
problem.
yay.
Yay,
This happened to me in
Koa.
Paris, man. Oh man, they're like, say this, and I'm like,
No,
what do you mean?
people from
They're
other
like, "You
countries are
suck."
very serious
Try
about
that
this.
Oh,
Malaya.
Maela.
Malaya.
Maela.
Malaya? Malaya.
Maea.
I want to say Malaya.
Malaya what?
Maea.
No.
No, it's not 2 L's. It's just one, and it's not
It's
Spanish.
not Spanish.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
I'm on his board. Like, Malaya.
So and it's weird because me and my mom got into this fight when we were in Hawaii because even the locals
They don't know how to
they
argue
just
about it.
because it's very time consuming to speak it
Nobody
right.
knows how to
So
pronounce
Right.
it.
like
The
really
dialect's
it
important,
doesn't even
right?
show on the map anymore. But really traditionally it's Ma'alaya.
Okay, that makes sense actually.
Ma'alaya because on a lot of the double vowels, which
You have
you,
to-
like you
you have
don't
to
see,
Yeah, like
there's
a
an apostrophe.
Space, yeah.
So it's a space.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's an apostrophe which you don't see, but like the
It's a
locals,
syllable.
everyone, they
It's
just say
multiple
Malaya.
syllables.
Interesting.
Malaya.
Cool.
Yeah. Go ahead and give the state fish a try if you'd like.
Dude, I'll tell you what. One of my
It's like
favorite
if you give somebody
movies
like hold
is,
on, sorry, baby.
okay,
It's like
go
if you
ahead.
give somebody like a German name and you're like, say it, and they're like, I'm just gonna sound disgusting. You're like, absolutely.
German.
Yeah, German's disgusting a little bit.
No,
Oh.
that's.
All you're
Jewish.
doing is like,
German is like
saying
definitely the
disgusting
angry
things.
language for sure.
oh, good
Well, so
God.
when-
I'm like,
when
I
we
can't even say
graduated-
something nice without somebody being like angry with me.
When we graduated from high school, the guy who was reading names when it was my turn,
I'm sorry,
another
I know
student,
it's different now, it's
he
so
really
funny.
wanted to fucking nail it. It's like we were practicing my
You
names.
still
He's
have
like, I
it
want
in
to say your full name. It's fucking dope.
The idea.
And so he tried
know.
Kaniko,
Lost.
whatever. He gets up there,
You're fine.
Travis, Jesse, Kaniko. Dude, we practiced it for a lot. But you're good. Like, I don't care.
Well, that's just something like when you have a weird name, you just get like used to like people saying
Right,
whatever it is.
right.
It's like you're
But
like,
still, like, even my normal white name, Travis, I get called Trevor fucking constantly.
what? How?
Because people are dumb.
Dude,
Oh.
that happens at work, and I'm
People
fall
call you
victim to
John?
that.
People
What do
like-
people
No,
call
My
you?
name's
Travis
John.
and Trevor are like, I can never remember the name Travis for some reason, and there's somebody named
John
Travis.
is this
where they're
person.
like- No, I literally am, and I feel so like bad right now.
As I say, for me, like, my
But-
name's John, but all the time at work, people call me, like, Requise for no reason.
John's middle name, I love John's middle name, and John doesn't like his
I
own
hate my
middle
middle
name.
name.
But I think it's like super
He
fucking
also
cool.
hates he has red hair too, but we.
Oh.
It ties into the middle name.
Oh,
Do
I
you,
bet it shines pretty good up with these lights now.
well,
What's
if
the
you
name?
put on the middle name, then you're gonna see how John like absolutely has red hair.
Oh my
Is it one of
god, are
those?
you serious?
Yeah. Well,
What
do
is
you
it?
want to say? I'll tell
I just
him.
showed you both of
All right,
mine.
I'll give you a hint. It starts with an M.
Mancy.
And it's with Mackenzie.
Oh my god.
We actually did talk about how you hated that a couple weeks ago.
I hate my middle name.
I mean,
I
the problem
love
is Mackenzie like has this connotation of being
a girl. Yeah.
a girl's name, but the reality is it's kind of like
You just shorten it to Mac.
there's Lindsay's
But
that
it's
are
not
that's their
Mac
first name and they're
Kenzie.
men.
It's Mc
Well, it's
MC.
M-C-K-E-N-Z-I-E. Yeah.
It's the like Irish Mackenzie,
Yeah,
like Irish name
I
Mackenzie.
mean,
Well, that's
so
different.
my middle name is a fucking cheese, but not spelled the
Gouda.
right way.
It's cheese.
It's a cheese. Well, it's not spelled the right way.
Gouda.
Nicholas Gouda Ennis.
No, that would be
It's
so
yeah,
funny.
it's
if it was
Nicholas.
Gouda.
It's
What is
all
that?
Gouda.
Especially for a guy that's
Ennis.
lactose intolerant.
It's
Yeah,
all
well,
Gouda Ennis.
My middle name is Colby,
Colby. Colby
but
Jeff.
it's spelled wrong because it's an
starts
acronym
with a
for
K.
like male.
K-O-L-B-Y.
I don't think it does
it's
start with a K.
It's
It starts with a
COLBE.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way different.
So it's an
It's just
acronym for my
A hard O, Kolb.
all of the initials of my male grandfather's names.
Okay.
God, I would not be able to put this much thought
I actually
into a
don't know
fucking
all
kid's
of them all
name.
either. So
Well,
it's
so-
what it is. Like I just know like Clarence and Edgar.
Yeah.
I don't know the other fucking three. I have no fucking idea.
Literally, my parents were like, "Yeah, we pass it down from your grandparents."
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
here
so
you
that's
go.
like another weird thing.
My
Wow.
middle name is Ray because my grandfather's middle name was Ray and my mom's middle name is Ray.
So it's
Like,
it's
it
like
just
another,
nobody put that much
Yeah.
thought into it.
Right. They're like, "Well, let's pass it down from generation."
Yeah.
Again,
Same
we
with
still
my
have all the
sisters.
basic white people names. So
Yeah.
our parents were not very creative.
No, not at all. And now we got like people.
It's kind of
naming
the
it, like,
easiest way to go.
XI22
Oh fuck! Like
and,
we
like,
totally
you know,
forgot
fucking-
to like think up a name
Well,
for
yeah.
our kids.
So like for
Throw
the
it
normal
out there.
thing,
My
you're not
parents
getting
named me
the-
after Randy Travis. That's why I've got my name. Weird.
Randy Travis.
Nicholas came from a
Can you
romance
sing
novel.
it?
So.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I
I'm like,
thought.
do we
You can't.
not know something that Travis knows? Maybe
You know
we
I can
should.
Yeah, maybe your
Are
mom's
you also
love
a
affair.
mega part of Hallmark movies that we probably should like figure it out?
My mom is disgusting.
My dad loves
My
Hallmark
mom
movies.
is disgusting.
My dad, every time I
she
go
likes
home.
Hallmark movies.
Okay.
No,
Every time I go
home.
over her house, it's either Lifetime or
Yeah,
Hallmark that's
no
fucking
fucking
on.
shit.
It's
You-
the same fucking
The
story
one
over
person,
and over again.
oh my god, fucking tell me about it. The one person in my house that should not be liking this shit is the person that absolutely loves it. And I'm like, Dad, turn off the TV. I'm so sick of watching the same shit.
Like it's
I
some
can't keep
businesswoman
watching the
from New
Hallmark
York that
movies.
goes to the country for some bullshit. She meets this dude who's just like back
We
in the
were
woods.
just talking about this.
It's like back in the woods cutting down trees. She's like, oh my god, I kind of like him. Then he ends up being rich and shit too.
Yeah,
And then they fall in love. Or
yeah,
she's
no.
also cheating on her busy fucking man friend. back at
Obviously.
home.
Well, it sounds like
Obviously.
the plot's way better than like
No.
the
But that's
fucking
Here's the deal.
movie.
I
Every
was
single
walking
fucking movie.
Dick through this. We were talking about like whatever's going on, and I was like, we forget that like life is like not what we see on TV every day. Like you buy a dog, and then you like think that it's all gonna be like this Hallmark movie where I like own a bakery in a small town, and like this guy comes from like the big city, and he's a lawyer, and he is suing me to shut down my bakery, and then suddenly like we fall in love, and like now he's not gonna sue me anymore. Now he's gonna my bakery. Like all these like dumb like fucking things, and people are sitting there watching these Hallmark movies like. I should buy a puppy because puppies obviously don't cause a problem. And then like they buy a puppy
True.
and they end up back at the shelter or like get put down or like whatever. And we had this whole conversation about why people should not get dogs. But like we were talking about the Hallmark movie thing, and I was like, it's bullshit the way that these things are like put in front of like people, because like people are like, you know, you watch Lifetime
so-
for a good story. You watch Oxygen
my
Network to
mom
see how
loved
people kill
Lifetime
each
back in the
other,
day.
and it's the same thing. It's
It's like,
always
if I
gonna be the
watched
same
That's
If I,
where
like-
I grew a hatred of like perceived normalcy.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
If I like,
There isn't. I mean,
if I like, if I switched
Perceived
over to like
normalcy
Lifetime or
doesn't real.
Hallmark and watched one movie for the first time, the storyline is very interesting the first time. But when every single fucking movie on the station is the same story with different
It's the
fucking
same
yeah.
characters,
story.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's always at Christmas. And then at
it's
Christmas,
Christmas year round on Hallmark. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It literally is.
At Christmas, he was like,
Oh, it's the same thing.
at Christmas,
Well,
what was
next
like,
story.
I was like, and then at Christmas, like the girl gets like engaged too, and she's like, oh my god, I didn't even realize that I loved you until this moment when you're like proposing to me because you love me.
People
like,
that propose on Christmas or New Year's are
go
fucking
kill yourself.
twats.
No, don't.
Yeah.
But like,
Do
if
not do
you're-
that. If e-
Why? Like for what?
If we know anybody that does that, they are no longer my friend. Such a liar.
Yeah,
We went through actually a
was
whole
Thanksgiving.
year where we had multiple
You're right, there's
friends
another
that
holiday.
after like Christmas Eve and Christmas, they had all gotten engaged like on Christmas, and like we were like
It's such fucking cheesy
we
bullshit.
get it, like just propose to somebody on like a normal fucking day.
Well, I think it's more of like a
God.
publicity grab, right? Oh, I want to have
It
a
kinda
kiss,
is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Like,
Well, it's
oh.
kind
It was
of
on
like
Christmas.
everything.
Everyone's
that's-
gonna be looking.
Also,
yeah.
as a guy, it's a lot easier to remember the dates in your brain.
That's a good.
Or
You know, I didn't
maybe you
actually
should
think about it that
train
way.
your brain to remember
It's
shit.
gonna be-
you
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
idiot.
But, like-
So it's gonna be hard to ever forget how long that me and McKellar have ever been married. So I
Okay.
just have to think about how old Dorothy is.
So get married on Christmas.
Like, so me and my wife got married, and then a week later, we were in the hospital having a baby. So like, if I ever have to forget how long I've been married, and
Backtrack
how old's
7
my daughter, cool.
Yeah.
If I ever forget both, I'm fucked. But
Well,
yeah.
so it's like
Cross
get
that road.
married on
you fucked
Christmas.
the whole thing.
There's no reason that like if I asked my dad can tell me the entire story of how like he bought the ring and like proposed to my mom. Probably cannot tell me the day that he did it,
Doesn't matter.
But their wedding, we all know because you have a wedding anniversary.
Right.
Are people like really honing it through so hard that now we have to
Some
celebrate
people
every
are.
single?
Well-
This was the day that we like got engaged.
So I
This
think
is
there's,
the day
like, a
that is my
big-
half birthday. Is like right now. Like,
So it's like the element of surprise that everybody like has to come up with, right? And that's
is it
the-
surprising? Because I think you're just ruining everybody else's holiday at that point.
No, but I'm saying like
That just makes you kind of a screw.
no, Nick's the holiday, but I think like what to me anyway is like element of surprise is very important. Fuck the holidays, fuck everything else. Like it needs to be at a point where no
Spring
one
it on around
expects
Christmas
it.
You gotta
Day.
do it on like the anniversary of like 9/11. Fucking
Or like
left field. Yes.
we have a
Oh
friend.
yeah, by
You
the
remember that
way.
thing that happened? That was a shame. You want to be married?
Well, we have a
We're
friend.
always reminded 3 days early because when all the videos come out.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, man! It's
I'm always
coming up.
reminded that it's coming up because never forget. I can't
Oh,
fucking
man.
forget. But like we have a friend who got engaged. It's like kind of a sick situation for like our friend's fiance or now husband because they can never forget about this because they got engaged at her sister's wedding.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's the worst.
And
That's the worst.
I like we used to make fun of this, and then it happened, and so like it went
You're
from
stealing
like
thunder, you
her
know what
little
I mean?
sister getting married to I'm not gonna say her name, but like
Do I know this person?
yeah, you do for sure. To her getting engaged at this, so like the whole focus was like, and then they got engaged, and they're like on the dance floor, and like the whole wedding party is behind them, and it's like glamorous and beautiful lighting. She's like, oh my god, yes! And I was like,
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is super
It is.
fucked
That's
up.
super fucked
It
up.
is.
like
It is.
I cannot
Yeah,
imagine
stick to
if
Christmas,
I was
fuck you.
getting married. Yeah, at that point for sure. Like if I was getting
sure.
married, if I was
Yeah,
like,
you
this
did it
is like a
wrong.
fun celebration. I'm so happy that everybody is here to like hang out and like celebrate this amazing moment like with
You.
us. And then like one of my sisters was like, and then I'd be like, first of all,
Yeah.
you better walk this one outside.
Yeah.
We're not fucking doing
I want to say
this.
something really fucked up, but I'm not going to.
Do it.
Speaking,
You can
It
do
would
it.
kind of be like your sister's jam to like be doing that kind of
The
shit.
oldest one or the middle one?
Both.
Yeah.
since I
Oh
Totally.
shit.
brought that up, it reminded me of this funny clip I watched the other day. So I was like this funny like comedic TV show. It was like a white guy and one of the Indian comedians like
Fuck
sitting
him.
across from the table, and then, I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah,
He's sitting there. He's like, I've always wanted to talk to somebody about, just 9/11, and I just always want to talk to somebody about it. And the guy's just like, just acting like a normal person, but it's an Indian guy. He's like, you've never talked to anybody about 9/11? It's like, I'm just kind of curious of what's your stance on it? And you could tell what he's trying to push.
He's trying to push the conspiracy
It's
side.
an inside job.
But so the guy's like, I think it was a tragedy. It's awful. He's like, we lost 19 of our best people that day. And the fucking other dude's just like, what? And then it just cuts the video. That'd be hilarious if that happened in
I
real
guess
life.
we don't
It
talk about
probably
politics
has.
on the show. We
Yeah,
shouldn't.
that's awful.
We shouldn't proceed. But like, what in the world?
Sorry, what?
I mean, I was like, we should not proceed with this, but also like, oh my god. Okay.
Pass some fucking caramel popcorn over here. I need.
You want some of that?
Yeah.
She's nice. It's a little salty. It's sweet. It's the perfect balance. I like, and it's not too sweet.
No, it's good.
It's like a Sour
It
Patch
is
Kids
almost
commercial.
famous. Where's this?
God, I want to tell you so bad. I might just text you her name.
Text me your name real quick.
Okay.
Just say it backwards.
Cedar Rapids. I mean, obviously the Iowa boy brings Iowa stuff. These are good.
I mean, he was sent to me. When that package that you signed for, by the way, that day,
You got a
was,
sign for it. Just ask for my name.
or yeah, he didn't even ask for your ID. There was alcohol in that box.
Well, that's like the fucking when we ordered booze that same day. Fucking when the guy, so fucking Tucker goes up and barks at the door. John's dog. We ordered some booze, and literally, so I go out to like give him my ID to like get the booze. Dude's just in his car. You good? I'm good.
Well, both the dogs. Bear was over there too, like having a heyday. Well, yeah, and like so you put the box up on the mantle, and John was like, "Oh, I guess like the popcorn probably came today. This popcorn." And then he looked at the box and he was like,
Oh yeah. Did you tell me that?
"There's alcohol like inside this box, and I don't think I'm like supposed to be getting." And he was like, "Should I open it?" I'm like, "I don't know.
Yeah,
Are you
let's do it,
expecting
let's
like?" And so we opened it, And there was like a dessert wine in there with like a box of truffles. We haven't.
No idea. I called my
who it
parents
came
and
from?
told them, and I was like, they're like, we didn't send it. I don't fucking know. And it was addressed to an Angela on the inside, right? But it was addressed
The
to
note
me
said
on the
Angela
outside.
Johnson.
Yeah.
But on the outside, it was
It was
addressed to John.
me. So I'm like, what the
And
fuck?
I was
No,
like,
no,
who?
no
And so
clue.
you can imagine, I was all,
I looked up
who the fuck
tracking
is
number,
Angela?
everything. I was like, who the fuck sent this to us?
Hold on, who the fuck is Angela right now?
That's what I was saying. I'm like, I mean, maybe she lived here before, but why
Oh,
was
have
it
your
addressed
phone.
to me
Oh, wait,
on the
your phone's
box on
vibrating.
the top? You know?
Yeah.
You know, that was
Son of a
really
bitch.
weird.
I
Somebody's
thought
like,
it was a
somebody gets like the wrong package at their house and they just box it and send it
But
to you.
it wasn't sent to the wrong person.
Yeah, it was
No.
like right
Inside,
straight
just
to
the
me.
note just said, it was like a note to a special note to you, and then it was just like Angela Johnson.
That's it.
And like I
Like,
looked
what?
and I tried to look it up, and I was like,
I know
this
zero
close
Angelas,
from calling them.
Zero Angelas.
Yeah, I
and
was
I'm
all,
like,
who the fuck is
what
Angela?
the hell was happening?
Well, and like so
The
many
only
things
Angela
too. I was
Johnson
like,
in my head is the comedian Angela Johnson.
well, I was
so-
like,
but
do
her
you
name
have
is weird.
an inside joke with somebody? Because in my head, I was like, well, if you don't know anybody named Angela Johnson, do you have like an inside joke with somebody like a big like Harry Potter person? Because Angela Johnson was a person in Harry Potter, and it doesn't matter.
You would know.
But like I would lived and breathed it. Like obviously, so like when I was like 11 years old. But like I was like, what is
Yeah,
this?
I was very confused.
And we couldn't figure it out because every zip code, like you can track the package and see who it came from, but only if you know the billing address of the zip code.
Yeah, and I put in like all the zip codes of people I know. Nothing.
We tried all of
Nothing.
it. Nothing.
So that's a pretty good joke.
I got duped for that one, but that hey, I mean, jokes on that. I ate some chocolates. Ate some
In my
drinks,
head,
some
I was
wine,
like, God
was
damn
good,
it, if
good.
like one of like the people that used to date him or somebody who wants to date him just sent him this, so like they're all, but his girlfriend will be around when she opens this, so she's gonna be like, who the fuck?
Yeah,
is
it's like the
Angela
person across the
Johnson?
street.
So, jokes on them. I mean, we had a good time, right? I mean,
Yeah, we were just
fuck.
sitting there eating chocolates and drinking. The dessert one was like,
It's like, okay, cool.
insanely strong. It came in like obviously like a smaller bottle, but it was like as strong as like mead would
Super
be.
like 20%
So, like-
wine, like crazy amount.
Just a recent one, that was the point.
Oh, she's so lucky. Your little
Sorry,
girl
go
is
ahead.
so lucky. But I was like, we poured that wine and like we tasted, and we're all like, even I was like,
Two sips were like,
It took us like 4 hours to drink that.
drunk.
That's surprising.
It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
strong.
Being like when I went over there last week, you guys were like fucking 3 6 of the wind. Like you guys were having a
Going
good
crazy.
time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we had slammed like 3 bottles of red wine.
That was probably the wildest I've gone in a while.
Well,
Yeah,
you
you were
threw something else in
Yeah.
there that was very much
You,
contributing.
you
to
were
that.
having a good time.
Everybody else was on like a
So
normal
this-
wavelength.
so
You
this
were
guy-
like, oh
so
yeah.
like they have, there's like it's like dual living room situation. It's weird. Like there's like
You know, you have like a sitting room and a living room, but they're also still connected.
yeah, they're like right next to one another. Like they're like not like separated. So like, but it has like this like fireplace between them and like a mantle above it. But like the mantle goes like you can see over.
You could
it.
jump over it if you wanted.
So
I have
well,
this
and this
picture.
motherfucker. So
I have this picture.
he's having a good fucking time. He decides he wants to get the fuck up there. So he gets up there.
And then in the morning has the
He
audacity
tries-
to be like, why does my head hurt?
Yeah. So the first time he got up there, he was all standing up, bam,
Bam.
Boom!
It's
In my
like
head,
4.5
so
foot tall fucking like space. And then about like a couple minutes later, he was like, "Somebody get up here with me." So just to kind of appease the situation, you got a picture of it.
Yeah.
I
You
forgot
got a
about
picture
that.
of it? I was
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh man! Oh my god!
John loves to pop his shirt off when he gets like real drunk. So he's all, this baby's coming off. And then it's just like,
At one point, he was like standing out back in the snow, just standing there
He
with
was
no
just
socks, no
standing
shoes,
in the backyard
no
in the
shirt.
snow.
Just had his black Adidas fucking pants on, like.
I was like, John, get in here. I was like, John, get in here.
Oh god!
I'm fine. I'm just like, I'm fine. Get the fuck in this house. It was like 10, 15 degrees outside. He's
Yeah,
standing
well,
in
it
the
felt
snow.
great, you guys. I don't know.
It's because you were dancing so fucking hard.
That was hot. That was hot.
We were having a good time. It's a lot of
Yeah.
matters. Like where the
We were
picture
having a
came
great
from.
time.
It's 7 a.m. I don't give a fuck.
Even I was like, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, she was the first one.
You're like, oh, I'm gone. I'm done. Done with this.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
My head hurts. Go to bed.
He woke up and he was like, "Why does my head hurt so bad?" And I was like, "Let me tell you all the ways that your head could probably hurt right now."
Oh my god! Ow!
He was like, "My head is pounding." And I'm like, "So many things. One this, and one. Remember when you hopped up? You don't remember this. You hopped up on the mantle, and like the first time you hopped up on the mantle, you went ahead and stood up on the mantle, and you just slammed your head on the ceiling."
Oops.
It's weird how there's a ceiling above that because
I
it
know.
has tall ceilings around it. So like, why does
Once
it
you're
have-
up there, you don't. There's no ceilings in that.
Well, that one like living room has zero ceiling. It's like such a high vaulted
Right.
ceiling
I knew
that
that's what I
like
thought, you know,
yeah, and
next
then
thing
the
I know,
rest of the house
boom!
doesn't have those.
Yeah.
You know,
That house.
shit happens when we're having a good fucking time. So
Yeah, no, worth it.
it was pretty fucking silly for sure.
Well, it was fun. It was fun to like watch it, and it was fun to like be a part of it until I was like, I gotta go to bed. Because again,
Yes.
like I had drank the bulk of the wine anyway,
Yeah, you were pretty saucy.
and I was like, I gotta. And then also had to sober up, even though I was still drinking, like in that moment. So I was like, John's doing like things, and I can't be like that tossed on it, right? It's a regular like response where I'm like, somebody's got to take care of somebody here, and I got to take care of this one.
I had it figured out.
No, you didn't.
I just like when you switch shirts. They switched shirts that night. And it was funny because like the shirt that Kate was wearing actually like fit John pretty well, except for it was short. So it was like it wasn't quite crop toppy, but it was like close.
The lower half of the stomach.
Yeah, it was like it was like right there, like just right at the bottom. Like if you like lean back, it like
There's a belly button.
I think that's when the shirts came off. Not mine,
probably.
because I just stayed in John's sweatshirt. But I think John actually put on like a shirt and a sweatshirt after that,
He
because
did.
I found the shirt and the sweatshirt in the other living room the next day. And I was like, oh.
That was a wild night.
He's
for
all,
sure.
pop it off. He's like a Guido kind of.
I mean,
He's like
I
GTO
was
all
like
day.
that.
I'm like
GTO,
He
dude.
is.
Guido.
He's GTO all day, except for like
Fuck
tanning. He's
yeah,
just like pop the
get
shirt
that
off. It
outta
says
here.
that
No
like he's
way.
not gonna tan. He can't tan. He's too white.
No.
He's gonna be a DJ later. It's fine.
He has the moment.
He's
He
right.
has the
He's
moment.
right.
It's funny that you say that because
DJ Holly D!
Just lay me off again, and then I'll have some time to focus on it.
it's always a good time though. It's never not like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? It's like, okay, like let's do this.
Yeah.
It's all handleable.
Yeah, no,
It's
totally.
never like so off the chain. Like fuck off, you fuck.
Well, usually, like, no matter what he's doing, it doesn't go like that bad. Even if we have to like have like a private chat, and we had like a couple of private chats, that's never
Yeah, we
bad.
probably did.
Oh no, I'm telling you that we did. We
Yeah,
had
we
to have
did.
a couple of private chats, but like it's never a bad situation. It's just like, okay, let's go upstairs and like talk about this really quick. Okay, you go back downstairs because I'm
Oh,
taking
I'll
a
go back
fucking
down.
nap. Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, shit. I mean, again, I had a good time like last week. Again, like you know, with me and Sarah on the podcast last week, just by ourselves, we went for 4 hours. Like, no problem, just fucking chilling, just hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
And then you call it like right at the end of it, it was after midnight. Even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, we're just finishing up. Like, I didn't even
Like,
realize
bring
it had been
everything
4
over.
hours.
Well, and
I
even
wish
like
you could have brought this stuff over there and watched
Well-
what happened. That would
Oh
have been
no,
hilarious.
I don't think that would have been a good idea. I don't think that it's like one thing to talk about it. It's a totally different thing to like put it on camera, I think.
It's a fairly mobile setup.
Well, no,
I
I'm
agree.
just
I mean,
saying
we're
like,
doing it
you
at
know,
Sarah's house next week, so
no, I'm not saying that it's like a hard thing. I'm just saying like I don't want John on camera. Like doing like John has like a private life too, and I
Right.
like to keep it there.
Yeah,
And I'm
you're
sure
right.
you would too.
We took it somewhere. Where else did we do
Charlie's house.
Charlie's house that one
Oh.
time.
Problem.
It was a mega problem.
Why?
It was on July
Huge
4th.
problem.
Because me
Oh,
and Charlie
fuck.
don't get along.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
not in like a super blow up way, but we just talk shit the entire time.
Well, like
Yeah,
I was
it
fighting
happens.
with
More heavy
the
on, like,
person
me
that I
talking
was
shit to
dating
him.
at that time, and then you know me and Charlie were talking about a lot of things that like I didn't agree with at that time, and then Charlie was just being like
Charlie.
a dick. So and you guys don't get along. So for us to
Sometimes
like,
we do. It depends on what mood.
I'm just saying that was not the night, and
No.
I wasn't like feeling it either. So I was vibing
Well,
into
because
like
we were-
Travis more than I was vibing
We were
into
also
Charlie.
pretty hammered. 'cause
Yeah, we had been drinking all
We had
day.
drank from Thursday night, and we didn't go to sleep until fucking that like later. It was like 35 hours of like drinking.
I was drunk enough where I didn't realize how bad it was until they said something and we had to shut it down. It's like, yeah, it was kind of bad.
No, we
Those
shut it
nights are
down
crazy,
because we
you know?
like. I remember we looked at each other and I was like, "Shut it down." I was like, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
It was like at one point, me and Kate were like in the kitchen making a hookah bowl, and I was like, no more of this.
Yeah, I was like, "Shut it down."
And that's, you know, there's certain people that are better to like to vibe with when it comes to like, especially like this environment where like we get the lights on, all that shit. And it's like like, people that like try to be in charge of it are like,
It's not negotiable.
You know,
I love you as a person.
Let's put it
but,
this
like,
way. In our Discord, we have a separate page for Charlie to do his thing.
Right.
I think it's best when everyone just doesn't give a fuck, right?
Exactly, and that's literally the whole basis of this
thing and,
podcast.
yeah.
So when people try to chime in and they're like, "Well, I think that you should have like an agenda and like all of these things,"
That was a
well,
different
like
problem.
that was also the same problem that night. Like Charlie was like, "Well, what are we going to talk about? What's like the agenda? What are we doing? I think that we should talk about this." And we don't like to have an agenda because life is life, and you can't make an agenda on that.
Right.
So when we sit down and we talk about things, we're talking about like what's going on, right? Obviously, I don't know why I'm just pointing you out. Like, yeah. So like we're talking about things.
Yeah, fuck you, Travis.
And because you know better. Like I mean, you know.
Have you been working on
Shit,
that?
what am I doing?
We were trying to get him to work on his like Christopher Walken because he does it pretty
We
good.
gotta do it more
Well,
when we're playing games.
but like when you like do that, like it's hard because it wasn't happening like pre-podcast or behind the scenes. It was happening during the podcast.
Yeah.
And that was like, we were like, I cannot tell you, if we ever cared to watch that back and actually sit here and watch it, the amount of times that me and you are having a fucking attitude problem is probably not okay.
Well, do you guys do that? Do you guys ever go back and be like, hey, let's
actually
watch,
do because I'm trying to like
watch what happens.
I
tee up
don't.
some clips and do some things and
We've done
Yeah,
it
for sure.
because of certain situations where people are like, you were talking about me and like all these things. Like, were we talking about that? Like, I know that we get drunk on this podcast, but was I like calling someone? Was I like talking shit about this particular person? You take it back and you rewind and you like watch it and you're like, no, I wasn't.
There's
Maybe
huge
you were. Who the
going
fuck
around,
cares?
like rewatching and compiling.
well, it is because you
Well,
learn
at that
like
point when I was
about
dating
it.
that guy, it was
Now the thing with like what I'm doing with this podcast,
Yeah.
and the way that like so we're doing it live. Obviously, there's chat. There's like this is actually a pretty tame chat.
So
scenario.
back when we
Right,
first
right.
started, when Mixer was still a platform before they shut down,
we actually were getting really
that's
good
where a lot of
followers.
our
Oh, really?
following was, and it got fucking weird.
It got really
Especially any
What
time.
were they doing? What were they saying?
Well, it wasn't like a lot of times it was just random, but as soon as a fucking girl showed up, it got real perverted and weird.
I had a really big fan.
you know, like,
Well,
how
like the
people
first
are watching
time-
right now, like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
Like the first time
how many?
V showed up,
Well, right now we're on the low side, but we've spiked over 20 while we were sitting here. By the way.
Oh,
like
okay.
the first time V showed up,
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
got a little aggressive.
Well,
Yeah.
V's cool as fuck.
She's cool, but like physically, she's chesty.
Uh-huh.
So the chat was going fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Show those boobs.
Pretty much.
No, like yeah, that's
No, that's
seriously,
pretty
that's what
much
it
it.
was.
yeah. It was.
Why don't you
like-
stop talking and let her
That's
show her
basically-
tits?
That's the internet, right?
It is, you're right.
It is.
that
Well, like
what
traditionally, if you can say like
yeah.
about the women that are constantly on the podcast, nobody looks like that. So if you like hop in, see like a really chesty woman, you're probably gonna stay a while.
Like, whoa, is this gonna get weird?
Because all the
Oh
women
my
that are
goodness.
normally on this, I'm not, Amanda's not,
There
Bailey's
was-
not, like Sarah's
This
not.
was like the,
None
you're,
of us are like
you're
super
really
chesty.
big
Super
fan.
chesty,
You're a really
come
big
on.
fan.
Oh, bring it in.
I got tits.
So there was this guy. He was like, oh, I found my podcast. And he was on Mixer. And he didn't follow along, but he when we moved to the other platform.
Yeah, my biggest fan.
His name was Richard Love.
So we call
It
him
was Dick Love.
Dick Love.
Dick
It was his
Love.
actual
Dick Love.
fucking name.
Wow.
And he never watched like when we first started the podcast. Like me and Kate, like every month we had one like going.
We had the Dick and Kate show.
And so
So it was
like, he
only
would
us.
never watch any other one but if it was Kate. And he was like, and he was super chill. Like he wasn't like
He wasn't
weird.
gross. He wasn't
Yeah,
weird.
it
He
was-
never
wasn't,
made me feel
it
It wasn't
uncomfortable.
weird, but you
But he
definitely
would
noticed the
only
pattern.
show up if it was the Dick
He
and
would
Kate
be
show.
that guy that you're just at a party and you see him in the corner every time, just watching.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
like that.
no,
I don't like
that's
that visual.
creepy, but he
I don't
like-
like that visual.
It's like the guy that like
It's not to be creepy. Like, you can do that non-creepily.
Yeah,
Just stand
I-
there
I don't
chilling,
fucking
doing
think
your
you
own thing.
can be.
You know what I'm saying? He's standing in the corner, like, staring with his hand down his pants. He's just kind of chilling, doing his own thing.
Well,
You
that's
know,
the
we don't
thing,
know what he
you
was
know.
doing, but like freedom. But like
But, you know, freedom.
in your own space, in your own space. But like
The one I actually miss is fucking the dude that was in Texas.
yeah.
Yeah, I miss him. Like, I'm
Yes.
surprised he didn't follow like
Yeah, the meat dude.
because he was
cool.
like, yeah, like come to the fucking Austin, we'll make some fucking brisket. He was always
Yeah.
talking about like making food and shit.
That guy, another guy who hasn't chimed in a while is the dude from Norway.
That
That
dude was
guy's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
We got way better followers on that than we've had since we.
There
had
was a lot of
switched.
cool followers when we had like those 2 weeks of like 12 people crammed.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God, we
I
had
think that's better, right? The crowd brings crowds.
Well, and that's kind of thing is like when we have like a bunch of people that like aren't normally around, like it goes a little crazy. Like just from our friends and like that kind of shit too. Like we'll get some like people like here and there.
For sure. Yeah.
And it was actually I think it was last week when Sarah was here. We had a guy that was like just doing Twitch chat. He was like poggers and like all the other like the standard Twitch stuff.
I remember that.
That was 2 weeks ago.
He was putting all those different fucking emojis down.
So he was
dude,
like
you follow a lot of fucking
Yeah.
channels.
He was like every like big streamer on Twitch. He was putting all their emojis, and we're like, and he was still like being interactive. He wasn't being
cool.
He
Yeah.
wasn't being that weird. And so that's kind of the thing is like at some point like it'll start like pushing up. I was gonna tell you I got a Facebook ad denied because of the podcast. I was trying to put a Facebook ad. They give you like a credit.
Oh,
So
really?
I was like, I'll just put this credit to like the Facebook ad.
You got denied?
It got denied because we smoked hookah on it.
Oh. Because they don't know what it is or what?
No, because
Like,
it's tobacco and like it literally said like this stuff.
no tobacco on it?
Yeah. So
What about weed? I see weed all over Facebook.
So the thing
next level.
is we're not advertising it. We're a group of people doing this specifically for it. They're like in the thing. There was like if you were doing it as like let's say a cigar like thing like
So it was like
you
a
were doing a cigar
promo
event.
or yeah.
Like you specifically.
That makes no sense to me because I've seen like singular people go on and sit there and be like, "Hey, here's how I smoke
So
weed."
no, but here's the thing: is
if
you're specific about it, if that's what you're doing, you can advertise
Yeah, that's
it.
like
But
about
we
your channel.
broadcast.
That's what
We
you're.
broadcast. You can't
Yeah.
broadcast.
So the thing
Well,
is,
No, so here's the
them
thing.
uploading their own videos.
You
maybe, I
can
guess. I
pay
don't
for
know.
an ad, but you cannot broadcast it organically for free.
yeah. So like the thing is,
So
since
like
we're
in
just,
the,
we're
in
just
the
chilling.
Twitch,
That's how it works.
whatever it is, all like the little user agreements that no one fucking reads through.
Yeah, right.
Why
Every
would
single one of them says to not
I'd rather
use
get
any sort of
flagged than
substance
read it.
in mass amounts. So like you can like on my stream I'll drink a lot. I just don't drink my video game anyways. Like this, like they'll have stricter guidelines when if they like
So
view
it's like
your
getting out
thing
to
and
the
they see a
masses,
fucking
right? Yeah.
table full of cans and bottles
Yes.
that we're all drinking and
Okay.
hookah.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, so
they're
it's
not
like
gonna
Makes sense.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
because
advertise
kids
because
see
it
it
wasn't
and like,
specific
yeah.
to it. Like
Yeah.
if it was a specific, like hey, like we're doing this, like it's a tobacco
This
advertisement.
is like a hookah channel where we
Yeah,
talk
we
about how
actually-
hookahs work, different brands, different whatever, like
You
we're
could actually do
specific
that.
to it.
Right.
And that's fine because you're more like brand ambassador type shit. You're trying to
Yeah.
it's focused on that, but since it's just something that we do while we're doing a generic podcast,
For sure. Yeah.
They
yeah.
They can't
Makes sense.
advertise
Makes
it,
sense.
and
Yeah.
things like one, it does get to a breaking point where we get the followers that you can be affiliated.
maybe- yeah,
on
maybe
Twitch,
get up
but
there,
I'm not
right?
signing those things because I don't want that. I want it to be where I do what I do, and maybe we'll get some sponsors in like that kind of shit.
Right.
sponsorship
But I don't
where
want
it's
like
at more than
monetization
yeah,
from
absolutely.
platforms because I don't want them to be able to dictate what I want to do.
Well, and also too when you get into like monetization on whether it's Facebook, Twitch, whatever,
Right.
the money doesn't really start coming in until you are massive.
Yeah.
And the money's really from like the ads that play while you're
Well,
streaming.
why would
Well, it's the
somebody
ads and
pay
the
you
people
if
that
you can
see
product
it,
place
right?
them?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is
Exactly.
I want the product placement and the sponsorships.
Yeah,
not
I
the
don't have to pay
monetization.
you if you're doing it for free.
No, you're building a name, right?
I don't have to
That-
pay you
that's
if you're
exactly
doing it
what
for
you're
free.
doing.
It's when you
Sure.
stop doing it for free and you have an insane following is when I'm gonna stop paying you. You stop drinking like my product, or you stop like moving on. We've been watching you this entire
Well,
time,
here's
so we'll
what's
start
working out
paying you
here.
if it works.
Absolutely.
Like that's the thing. So like.
Just make it a 21.
We'll drink whatever, so
21
somebody
up.
pick it up, dude.
I don't know.
Fuck.
Well, you
I
can
mean,
so
you know?
easily put on like the thing where
21
just, like,
and up only.
I mean, what
type
do
of
people
else?
do on
thing, you know,
TikTok? Like just the X out 18, like
That's just a profile picture usually, but
No, it's not a profile picture. It's like the emoji, the X out 18 when people have like content. They're like, let's talk about sex, and you're like,
yeah,
okay.
it's a lot of
X
those
out
things
18.
too where you can
If
put
you're under
that,
18,
but
you can't like be there. Or
Yeah,
you
but
shouldn't
no
be.
one's
Like I
stopping.
already warned you
That's-
that it's not for people under
yeah.
18 years old.
It's
So
like
I
there's
covered
there's
my own ass there.
There's a pretty
using
famous
an emoji,
TikToker who
basically.
her job is like she makes custom dildos. That's what she does, but they're like
Really?
super
Wait, who
bizarre.
does?
Whom?
Some TikTok user, I can't
Okay.
remember her name or anything.
I said whom?
Like who?
Who?
Give it to me.
Who is
Give
it?
me the story.
Yeah, she
Oh,
hasn't
damn
come
it.
up on my shit at all. Who is
You're not
this?
watching that stuff.
Apparently
So-
I'm
You know
not.
what's kind of funny about it? They don't make dildos the same way they make fucking like fleshlights and shit like that. Where they
Fuck, man. We
they
watch.
plaster like all these porn star scenarios.
Remember
You don't
walking
see
in?
dildos plastered up with like.
Okay, so here's the thing.
No, but you can buy a kit at Dr. John's where you can do it yourself.
There it is. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Also,
man.
You can
remember,
cast
I'm
your
like,
own dick and then make a dildo out
yeah,
of it.
and
I've. Oh.
Tiny little thing.
I'm obsessed. Oh my
Making
god.
it great.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Nick, but here you go.
I'm obsessed with this idea. So Dick, remember when I was like for years, remember like even when I was dating like, you know, before I started dating like my boss, like that situation. I'm trying not to throw out names here. It's about to get really confusing. Okay. So like
a first name, you're okay with that one.
I don't want to.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
like when I was dating him, and I will throw out one name, and Don had this like moment
Okay.
where he was given that fleshlight. Okay, so and I was like, God, I just want to know, like, not in like a sexual way. I just want to know what that material is made out of, right?
I do
So
too,
me
actually.
and John
Never tried
went
it.
over to Dr. John's.
I use the real
Honey?
thing. so.
Yeah,
Me too, me
well,
too.
yeah, same.
Never fleshlighted it.
Obviously, but like.
Obviously. Thanks. I
But-
kind of cut onto that, but thanks for clearing it up.
Yeah, I just want to obviously not.
Jesus
Obviously.
Christ.
But we went over to Dr. John's, and I was like, I just want to see if they still have the asses, like the big asses, when you could buy those
Yeah.
big
Oh,
asses.
they're there.
Like the ones
Um,
from Dave?
No, they're literally like silicone
that
butts.
From the
Yo.
show, Dave.
From the show Dave. The
Oh
Disney
yeah,
show.
yeah,
He had-
exactly.
It was
I've
the
never
rubber
seen that
rubber bottom half of a woman.
Yeah, we saw it
Funnier
at the
than
sex
shit though.
shop.
We can
Because
watch
it's
it.
like it weighed 200 pounds.
Yeah,
That thing-
so that's what I was like. I have to show you this because
Yeah.
it does exist, and so we found them. But like,
Yeah, we
they
did.
had these little like miniature like things on display, and I was
You
like,
can put your
and
finger
they're
in
made
it.
out of the
and
same
it's like
material.
this nasty,
And
like brown.
they're all
spot
dusty. They're
on
all
the butthole
dusty.
of people sticking their fingers as like a fucking like
So-
sample.
He's so disgusting.
John was like, "Oh, not
No, I
touch
didn't.
this."
I was like,
And I was like, I'm gonna touch
A
it.
sex shop is not a place where you should have samples or demos, first of all.
well, that's where they have
Yeah,
it.
so
That's where they have it.
it's too high for anybody's dick to go in there. But like, I was like, I
Oh.
want to touch it. I just want to see what the material is made out of because it's made out of a different material than like what any kind of vibrator made out of silicone is made out of.
Right.
Because a vibrator is silicone. This thing is like a soft silicone material that like a thing that I have like a texture I've never touched before. I was like,
Disturbing.
oh my God, I guess I understand the appeal because it kind of feels the same way as if you totally shaved off all the hair on your body and you didn't have cellulite and basically you are a child but also maybe an adult. I don't know. But
Thank
like,
God you didn't
it's just
stick
so
your
weird.
finger in it because
I
You're
would've never
going
put
in
my
there like
finger
as
in
a dude and you're looking at the stuff and the person behind the counter is just like, hey, if you like that one, there's a sample you can try over here.
dude, she
really
was. She was too.
We're
She
not
was.
talking about,
Oh,
the book
man.
ranch, okay?
quick.
that's
place is
the
great.
book ranch.
That's
And
phenomenal.
they don't let you sample it, but I will tell you this: when I
Yes,
was
they do.
no,
But you
they
gotta
let you
go
touch
back.
it.
Not in like
They
Dr.
let you touch it.
John's.
They
But you
don't
can't
let
go-
you
Yes,
put.
there is.
No, you don't.
Dude,
the
no.
book
don't
ranch-
even-
We're talking like
what
not
you
like
can
Oh
do
my
at the
God.
book
You
ranch
cannot
is
put
you
your
can go in
dick
the back,
inside of that
No,
thing.
You
not
pay
the
$1
dick
for a little
inside of
fucking
it.
30
You
second
can touch
porno.
it. You can
Yeah.
touch the
And
display.
everyone fingered
There's
it. and it
definitely
was just
sex
like,
shops in this country that you can actually sample it.
You cannot do that at Dr. John's.
That's more like
That's
Czechoslovakia.
all we're
But
saying.
everyone fingered it.
No,
and
it's
it's like
here.
got a brown.
I'm
hole.
so sorry
It's like so dirty and
that
nasty.
everybody fingered it.
Ugh, it's gross.
So just don't
gross.
put your fingers in there.
It just kind of threw me off. I mean,
It
It's
just threw me
fine.
off.
I mean, why is that butthole so
I
fucking
just
dirty?
wanted to
and
feel
why
like
is this
I
fucking
just wanted
silicone
to feel
butthole
like
because
what
in
it
my
was.
face right now with
And
a
the-
dirty butthole with everybody's fingers
Because
bent
in the real world,
You know?
not every in the real world, not every woman bleaches and cleans her butthole. That's really what
That's
it is.
obviously,
It's a
first
realistic
of all,
representation
most of them
what you're getting.
don't.
If you buy this deluxe version, it actually comes with a human turd inside. There's a chance it's gonna fucking pop out when you're going at it.
Oh man! Holy shit!
Well, okay, so
Oh
like
my
at this
God.
one particular store,
It actually comes with a human turd. You just like a turd.
Oh, they put a human turd in there. Oh, what's that in there? Is that a
You're
turd?
gonna know if I go.
Are you
is that a
assuming
dog
what my
turd?
turds look like? Like,
I'm just saying, if you're going for like the anal sex model of this, then maybe you should get an idea of what that means.
If you want the real experience, that thing's gonna blow poo at.
I really do think you're right. You're gonna,
I'm
oh my God,
gonna-
It's gonna have a little
You have to
pressurized
like
chamber.
it up.
I'm
It's
just
like a
gonna
bunch
say
of
this.
bullshit.
I'm only gonna say this,
Yeah.
to Travis. Like you're gonna like,
You're not whispering.
it's
You're
just
still not quiet.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
So, but no, yeah.
I'm
that's
pretty
what it
sure
is.
the mic's picking
that's,
up.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Probably.
that's what it should be
That's
like.
the only thing going through a guy's mind when you're gonna have butt sex, right? Is am I
You're
gonna
gonna get
pull
pooped
my-
on, first of all.
am I
Like,
gonna
that's
pull-
just a
yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
well,
obviously.
But I mean, raise your hands. Who's done it?
Accidentally.
Accidentally. Well, did you keep going?
No.
Okay.
we've already we've
But-
had many discussions
We actually
on
talked
this
about this
podcast
before we
But
got back.
we
with
talked about
how
it, yeah.
Travis will not do butt stuff.
I mean, butt stuff was weird to me at first, but then it was kind of like cool after
But
it happened.
like
But
also, right?
anyway.
John is like, if you want to put something up his butt, he's like, oh my God, what the
No,
fuck
but
are
I
you
hate
doing?
it. No, not on my butt.
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
fucking not.
Dude,
So
anyone
no,
gets
okay.
to me, I'm like, "Bah!"
So there was a thing when
No.
Like,
earlier.
remember last week when I put my hand in his butt crack and he freaked out? Like,
Earlier in this podcast, when we were kind of getting started, some of our friends on here
where's
started
this hose
a
at?
hashtag butt
In the
chug
base of it.
that was
What-
related, like
what,
just
where
some.
is this going?
It's right here. I didn't know we were. So, but they started this hashtag butt chug that
Multitasking.
was
On what you
also
discussed.
directed towards me.
Hashtag butt chug.
Butt chug.
Oh, I do remember
That
this.
was-
Butt chug.
We're still gonna have a
what?
shirt that hashtag butt chug.
Hashtag butt chug.
Wait, what did you butt chug?
He didn't, but like one of our
Like,
friends
butt
did.
chug to me is like a beer down the ass.
Yeah, that's what a butt
chug
Right,
is.
right.
So then they started pushing that, and then it just ended up being me. And not only are like friends doing it, like then they got the random chat to start chiming in, like saying, "Yeah, dude, butt chug, we're
Oh,
fucking doing
It
it."
was like an episode of like.
Don't do that. You get
Oh,
alcohol
well,
poisoning
we had
like
so
no
many
other.
people here. We had like 10
we didn't
people
have a
here.
lot because Avery was
Because
here.
Bacon
Alex-
was here, Avery was here. I was here. Like on the first
Yeah.
butt chug scenario, all of us were sitting
There
here.
was we had
Evan
people
was
sitting
here, everybody
under
was
the
here.
camera because we had so
Yeah, we had so many people. Mike was here that night.
Yeah.
It was
It
a
was
lot.
like when we were like, stop it with the drip, dude. Like, calm the fuck down.
Dude, the fucking drip, dude.
What's the drip?
Fuck your drip if you want.
Sounds like a cocaine fucking habit.
It is. But also it's a different thing.
Also,
So,
a person that doesn't get along with that person.
Okay.
yeah, not a big fan over
Maybe
here.
got some anal
The
drip.
drip was like, the drip is like the thing that I think we can all like geriatrics ourselves out of like the drip here.
Jerry actress ourselves out.
The drip is like what the kids say. So like
If you
your
got, like, a
clothes are
sick
cool,
outfit
so you
on,
got
it's
like a
your drip.
sick drip. Your
Check out
clothes
this
are cool,
drip, dude.
so like you got a sick drip.
Like, yeah.
Check out
there's-
this
Where the
there's-
fuck did this
There's
come
some guys
from?
that
It's been
pull
around
Not
for
our
a while.
generation.
There's some guys that just dress dope, like sick drip, whatever.
Sick drip.
But when you're at a
Never heard
fucking
of it.
liquor store thinking that college kids give a fuck about your gay ass drip,
Sick
no one
drip,
gives a
dude.
fuck.
Sick
Me
drip.
either, because I've never heard of it ever.
Yeah, baby. So here's the situation
Well, get a TikTok
that
account, dude.
accumulated from
I'm
this.
trying to stay away from that shit.
So here's, yeah, he can just watch mine. So here's what happened. So he brought it up in conversation when all of us were sitting here, and again, we have all these people sitting here from like are like, yeah, this like situation is not okay to like be talking about this moment in time because you're just asking.
I kind of want to
for a
bring this
bad
clip up
fucking
of the fucking thing because it's so funny.
situation.
let's see it.
So he goes, and I mean, he
What
goes.
was it?
Starts
What?
with an M.
Mike.
It's with an I. Oh my god. Oh.
It's one of the many mics that have been on here.
So he goes, I was walking into the liquor store and these kids outside were like, sick drip, bro, because his shoes were like so cool. They were like these really sick Nikes. They are sick Nikes.
They are actually
but like
dope-
we don't like
dope
them because
shoes.
it's like an
They're
issue.
super drippy.
Okay, so he was just telling us how sick his drip was and how much like all these like younger kids like thought it was cool. So he must be fucking cool. And on that basis alone, we ran with it for like 30 minutes. How cool he is not. And
There might be a reason he doesn't talk to people for like a couple months.
Yeah, I apologized to him later. I was like, I'm really sorry. And he was like, oh, I didn't even think that, like, I walked myself into a situation. I just thought that we were all being each other. But I felt fucking bad because we were not, like, nice about it. We sat here and shredded his, like, ego apart.
What happens is some people, especially him, they're not that good when it comes to, like, when we're tearing into them.
You can't take it.
You know, like, I've teared into you and we have, like, fun.
So
we have,
for
like,
me,
that, like,
it's like it's a great like I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
It's
like
funny.
tear into me.
It's
fuck.
like
I'll have a laugh, you know.
Yeah,
and like,
But,
fuck.
like, this is why we try not to and why he's not around very much. This
Just 'cause
Dick is
he
going to
kinda,
tell you.
like,
No,
takes
Dick
it
is
to-
going to tell you. Just let Dick tell you.
It's all about the drip, dude. Just goes back to the drip. Just sum it up with the drip.
Well, the situation, like, he can't handle it, right?
He really can't, and like, you know me, I'm a very much I've only known you for like not even that long a time period.
Yeah,
I've known
for
you
sure.
now for about like what 2.5 months now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like, and I'll tear into your shit too.
Absolutely.
Like, you
And
know,
I
like,
love it.
Yeah,
I
I noticed
love
that like
it.
right away where I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not afraid. You like when like you were like trying to like kind of like boot your dog a little bit like last weekend.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, like get out of the table. Like, kind of say, like, we want to try to like boot your dog. It was like you like tap it,
And then he
but you
punted
kicked
him across the room.
No, when he kicked the fucking table.
Yeah, I know. I
And you
know.
were like, and I started like giggling, and she's like, "Don't say anything." I was, oh no, I'm saying something right
Well, because
now.
he gets so heated. Like, you know, I'm so frustrated.
So I was like, how's that table? And John's like, fucking,
Yeah, see, but there's two types of people. Someone will hear that and it breaks the tension. You're good.
yeah, and that's
or
John.
another person will hear it and then just get mad because of their drip.
I didn't get mad. I didn't get mad.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't get mad that
That's a
John
good
did it at all
answer,
because
yeah,
I was
for
like,
sure.
we're dealing with like a huge problem. Like Bear was over there, Tucker wouldn't like fucking let it go, and like John was like, I'm getting frustrated, and like Dick stepped in, and I was like, just don't say anything to John. That was actually how that went.
Yeah, but then
So I was like, it's okay.
but then I had to because
You
it
knew
was
that
so.
wasn't gonna happen.
It made me giggle so hard
Well,
when you
yeah,
hit the
but it was
table.
like good.
And
Then
you
it
were just
wasn't like, oh
like
my
you were
god.
trying to yell her, and you were just, and I was like, how was that fucking table for you? And then that broke the whole thing, and then you just like,
It's typically what it does for
Yeah.
decent people.
yeah, and
It
so
breaks
like,
that tension. You're not mad anymore.
Right.
'Cause it's just they
Yeah,
point
now
out how
you're like-
fucking dumb you're being, and then it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
yeah, and that's like the thing. And
Yeah.
me and Travis get in trouble a lot with our friends for like tearing them apart sometimes. Well, like
Jack.
So I've been
He
wanting
got in
to-
trouble with
Just
Jack.
one thing
I
that
got
comes
real.
into mind, like
So
a media.
one thing so when we play video games, there's
Oh,
I don't know how versed you are with like Call of Duty.
I am not. I've not had a
That's
console
okay.
forever.
So
but,
it's a
like,
it's a first person
yeah.
shooter,
I
but the
know,
mode
I know
we
what it
usually
is.
play outside of Warzone, when we play the multiplayer, we play hardcore because it's like you tag someone, they're done. It's not like fucking dumb bullshit where someone can take 1,000 bullets and live.
And they might
But
make
the
something
fun
crazy,
part of that
but
is you
it's
can
really
also
funny to
kill your
watch.
teammates.
Oh,
It's really fun.
you're in the way, bitch.
And I
Get
just-
out of my.
And
Get out of my way.
I pick on Jack all the time. It got to the point where I did it once. He shut down the game. He shut off his computer. He uninstalled it. Like he was fucking done.
Dude, I've seen
Pissed.
people like I've done that like
Bad.
with someone right next to me doing the same thing. Back when I used to play video games, and this was like 15 years ago, like playing Halo or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that was the thing back in the day, right? And I would just friendly fire on all my
Yeah.
friends and just like piss them off, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, like-
what the fuck are you doing?
It's
It's like
like-
I'm just sitting in the back and like,
Well, like,
just
in these-
dying laughing.
In these games,
But-
they have it set up to where you can't just do it the whole time. You can kill your teammates twice. They just think it's an accident and they run in front of you
Yeah.
or whatever. And then if you shoot them, you automatically die.
Right.
So I only get 2 chances a game to fucking kill you. So it's usually either him or
Yeah.
Seth. Seth can take it. I did it so much to him that he just got real fucking mad at me for
What
it.
about like the
Well, what I
eraser?
hated about was like people who like get super mad about video games. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking video game. You know?
Well, and-
But some
You know?
people make money off it. So like,
Well,
because I'm the
if
same
you're not-
way, but like if
no,
you're making
don't
money
get
off it, I'm
fucking
like,
mad
okay.
at your friend, you motherfucker. You know.
But yeah, like I get in trouble a lot just because like it's very, you know this about me already. Like it's pretty hard to like break me when it comes to like giving me shit. Like you can say anything to me, whatever it is, I don't give a fuck. I just run it off. Both my names, I'm Dick Anus or Dick Penis or whatever. Like my names rhyme with all sorts of fucking.
More like Dickalicious.
Like,
Dick, you have.
I know you gave me. Well, she calls you Dick. So like that, I thought that's your name. That's literally what I thought your name was.
My parents did too. They were like, do I call him Dick?
And I'm like,
when I hear people refer to him as Nicholas, I'm like,
like my parents would never call. I'm so sorry. You've been interrupted all night. Just one more thing.
I've been interrupted too.
I know. No, you've been interrupted all night is what I said. My parents would never call Dick Dick. I don't think. Does Dad call you Dick? Okay.
Would you
but
rather
like when
call
they
you Nick?
No, I don't
first
give a
met
flying
him, like my
fuck.
parents were like, I refuse to call him Dick.
It's so
and then
weird
it caught
when
on.
When people call him Nick or Nicholas, it's so weird to me. I'm like, who are we talking about?
Yeah, my
That's what I'm
parents would be
saying.
like,
Because she
parents
called
would
me
be like,
Dick,
what
from
about
the
Nick?
beginning,
And I'm like, who?
like, yeah. I was like, oh, what up, Dick? Yeah.
I'm
Well,
so sorry.
so for many, you know, I'm known in this town, I'm Dick. That's why this is Dick's Patio. That's the podcast name. That's the whole thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, Dick has no problems
Oh, yeah.
with that. But like, my last name is Ennis. You take one N out of there, put a P. I'm Dick Penis, and or I'm Dick C Penis because I'm Dick C Penis. So like that's me. So I've been called these names my entire life. So the reality is to make me upset by calling me something or saying something to me,
doesn't work.
It's not a thing.
Dick and
Yeah, I
I
just
have
call
only
him
so
shitbag now.
we're kind of similar where we throw a lot of fucking
Can you
shade at
imagine?
people. We talk shit. We do our thing. We've only ever gotten in like one.
Two.
I'm gonna take
There was the one at Trailhead. There was the one at
Go ahead.
Biker Gyms in Denver.
See, I never remember that one. I never remember
Where
that
I
one.
was yelling at you in the middle of Biker Gyms.
Flying through these.
I never remember that. I still don't.
I know.
Like, I know we always bring it up every time we talk about it because there's two. Every time we bring it up, it's like, okay, I guess we did. But I never remember that fucking argument.
Right. But there's also the thing too is like you're not really my friend until I've yelled at you. Sorry, you're not there yet. I haven't yelled at you, so.
Well, I would say that you guys had a
Talk about
moment.
your drip.
Yeah, talk about your drip. You guys had a moment last weekend that I was like, this is really good, so I'll take one for the team because the last thing I want is when, and you do it with Nicole too, is when everybody's like, oh my god, I know, like, okay, like, oh my god, I mean, like, I'm weird, alright, like, I'm like, oh my fucking god. You do it with John, Nicole does it with John, and I'm like, I'm just
What are
gonna
you
walk
talking
myself
about?
out of this situation. I said something like at dinner, or like not at dinner, at lunch when we had lunch with Nicole, or with somebody that I know, and
First thing you've had.
and like, yeah, and like all of the very early like podcasts, like say her first and last name, but like. I was like, so I'm like saying something, and I was like, oh my god, Kate, like, oh really, like, oh this like thing, and I was like, all right, okay.
What, we were both doing that, or what?
You and Nicole were both doing it,
Oh.
and I was like, okay. And then you guys were doing it last weekend too. Like I was like, oh, this like thing, like, oh really, Kate? Okay, okay, and I'm like, okay. And I don't get as like if you would talk to me, obviously, like 3 years ago, I would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm fucking out. But I'm a lot more kosher about it now, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna like take a walk really quick.
Well, something like like with you and me, especially too, like I can give you piles and piles of shit.
Well, yeah, I'm
And
not
it's
gonna
never,
like get
an
mad at you.
issue. But like that's kind of like things like for me, like I'll just dish it out,
Yeah.
and then when people backlash, it's like, especially people I've known for like 10 years, where I'm like,
Well, usually, like when I like dish it out, it's
Like, I
more
should
of
be able
a-
to take it now, right?
Hopefully, it's more of like an accepted, like you know, I'm joking type of thing.
Well,
know
you
what I
can
mean?
tease me, like that's
And-
fine.
right,
It's just
Man.
like that like moment. A lot of people can't handle that
they
moment,
can't at all.
No.
and we
I
gang
know,
up
yeah.
on people a lot.
I get in trouble all
Yeah.
the time for the things I say.
Yeah.
Which
And-
is dumb, right? Why have such a soft like skin around?
It is dumb, but
you
we
know,
also have to
being, like,
understand
made
in this
fun of. Like,
moment with the
that's how I-
drip. When you're not like friends with that person anymore,
Well, that's how
and
grew
I
up.
am friends with that person. So like when I reached out to him, like I felt that I could see that he was like very uncomfortable.
Oh, he was not happy.
So when I like
Who?
approached him and I was like, "Hey, I'm
The
really
person
sorry
with the
about the
drip.
situation and like this thing,"
but that
and you
that
know it's
also
all like
sucked in
fun.
that situation for
That
him.
drip.
This out.
Dripping.
Sick
Dude,
drip,
stop.
sick drip,
Stop
dude. I
the
actually
drip.
really do like those bands. I really like those bands.
Dude, you're literally like leaving trails.
Pussy's
You're
so
What
wet.
also sucked with that person in that moment is literally everybody kind of did that. There was Sarah, there was the
Everybody
Babynator,
dove
there
in
was the Miller
to
time.
the
We
thing.
like really rolled into him in that like moment.
It wasn't just a me and you
Yeah,
thing.
it wasn't.
He just
Everybody
couldn't
rolled
take
in.
it.
He literally like
He took it. No,
He
he
couldn't
took
take
it.
something that he brought onto his own.
He
fucking
took
self.
it.
That's
He
the whole
took
point
it.
of it, right? In my mind.
He
Like,
took it.
hey,
He
man.
did not combat it.
not at that
He
moment.
didn't combat it,
But he
and
fucked him
I
up
didn't
there, or
combat it
what?
later either. But I watched his face, and I was like, okay. And you know that, like
And there was
next week
times
when
when
we
we
hung out, I apologized
Need
to
to
him.
apologize and those kind of things.
But
But like, there's also the whole point of like,
it's all in good fun.
yeah, and that's like me too. Again, the reason why like I've continued to be Dick is that I pop the jokes. Like our buddy Seth, you met Seth.
Yeah.
Seth,
Super douche.
Seth, when he first, when he,
Sad.
yeah,
Super
well, he
dude.
was,
You guys don't get along anymore?
no,
Oh, no, we're fine.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, hold on.
When Seth first met me, he had to ask people if I liked him or not.
Same.
Because he was
Same.
Because he was
Does Dick
so
hate me?
yeah, he was so much like he was like, oh, I've been giving shit my entire life, blah blah blah. Like, I was like, if you can't handle like what I'm giving you, like on a basis, like,
And it was pretty mediocre.
yeah,
All
like,
it sucks is like I got along with him great. You know, it turned into.
no, he is a
Yeah,
good
that's a lot.
person.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
When he gets a little
Until-
shitty, he gets a
Until
little
that
like
one moment, yeah.
he gets a
it's
little like this.
Yeah, he gets a little.
and like there's
yeah,
been times where
stubborn.
like I've had to yell at him, like, shut the fuck up and
Yeah.
go to bed. Like that's
Well,
kind of
even like that one night when like Gare was with us,
yeah.
and
He
he
was
got, and I was like, you are saying things that are way
he
outside
was just
of
talking
your
some shit.
what you're like should be saying. So
Right.
like a personal basis,
yeah,
there
he-
is no fucking way you should be talking
he
to somebody
likes to
about
be
this.
like when he gets
You
shit
just
canned,
met this
he
person.
likes that like confrontation when he gets shitty faced, and like that's just what happens, and it pisses all of us off. It's pissed you off. It's pissed me off when he gets like confrontational about nothing.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, you
I
just kind of
remember
like roll
half
with
the
the
arguments
punches.
we all get into anyways, 'cause I'm usually drunk.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of it too.
But that's the only argument that sticks out is when we had a trailhead. It's the only one that sticks out to me.
Well,
Everything
you
else, I
learned.
can't
You
remember.
learned.
Nope. I'll do it again.
And I'll do it again.
Same fucking bouncer too. Remember me, bitch?
Well, and even like John that night got mad because Seth said something to me that John didn't like, and
Yeah.
I didn't take it personally because
Well,
it
that's 'cause
wasn't.
we-
It was like
Yeah.
a compliment, but maybe not in like the right moment.
Backhanded.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even a backhanded compliment. It was like,
Do you remember it? I'm super
yeah,
curious.
it was like something along the lines of like, well, you've always been like pretty and fuckable. And John's face was like right here, and he was all boom. What did you just fucking
would
say
never
to my
ever say
girlfriend?
sober ever.
No.
Yeah, he was
You're,
like,
like,
what?
you're not even drunk. You might
And
not
like
say that.
the moment was like, John was like, don't fucking say that to my girlfriend. And I was like, oh, it's fine. And then like me and Seth were having like a one-on-one, and you and John were having a one-on-one, but John was also having a one-on-one with me and Seth. So it wasn't working out like
Yeah,
so well.
it was just Seth being combative in his ways, and like he does that sometimes, and like I obviously love the fucking dude, like no disrespect.
Well,
It's
and
it's
then
also
what
when
made
you
it
know
worse
when you hear
was when
Seth say something like that, like if he came up to you and be like, "Oh, you're super pretty and fuckable," like if you know Seth, you know there's not even like a chance.
well,
to
I was
fucking
like,
know what's
I
happening
would
anyway.
never think that
So-
this is like a bad thing to like
Right.
for him to like say to me, but it wasn't like a good moment. But then also what like happened was you got like kind of a pissy attitude and you went to bed.
I didn't do pissy attitude. I was just spacing out.
He had a pissy attitude.
Yep.
And you went to bed, so I went in and I talked to you, and
Oh,
then
there's
Seth
Eric.
was saying a bunch
What's up,
of
Eric?
stuff.
I
Nice.
didn't even hear it come up.
Noise.
And then Seth was saying a bunch of stuff, and like John's ear that didn't really like
Yeah.
vibe with the
Well,
moment
and that's
that was
you know
going
that's one
on.
of those things, especially when you meet somebody the first time. It's hard to fucking like deal with that situation.
Well, I think what he was saying was definitely not okay, and we've had that conversation,
Yeah.
and that is like the conversation that I'm like, that conversation has to stop.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing to say to somebody.
Well, it
Yeah.
is a weird fucking thing to say to somebody when you're like, well, I don't know when you're like dating
Stuff.
this person because of like stuff, and you're like, no, first of all, nobody asked the peanut gallery over here, and I don't even know
Right.
we're having this conversation.
Well,
with
that's
this
it's one of those
person in the
things that
first
like
place.
you know people have like their opinions and they say it out loud and like
So
again it's again like grasping of like knowing the situation.
Like imagine
when
if
you
me
don't
and
know
Michaela were
somebody.
hanging out one-on-one,
Right.
and I'm like, I don't know why you married this person because I'm like
I'll
I
have
would
a
never
conversation
fucking
with
say
her.
that. I'll fucking have that conversation with her all fucking day. Like, Travis is like, I'll fucking talk to her about it. I don't give a shit. But like, what came of that was like not okay, and like just to have somebody who is not like
Doesn't
close
know.
to the
People
like,
just love putting their unwarranted
yeah,
opinions
I'm
and
like,
advice into
I'm like,
things.
basically, you probably shouldn't be chiming in the first place.
Right.
It's
Well,
like,
and
I don't even
it's
know why
something
you
we were
left.
talking about as we were leaving to get booze.
Yeah,
So not only did United fuck with my bag,
right.
by the time I figured all
They
that
also
out,
chimed into your relationship.
no.
That's wild.
That would be so funny. You're like text messages from like United, like, I don't know, dude.
So we were on our way back to the parking lot to pick up our car, and the car was dead.
Oh
Just
no.
fucking dead,
You
dead.
guys left the lights on or something.
Dude, you must
No,
have
it's a
had the
4-year-old
worst-
battery.
I hate travel
Oh.
It was
experiences
cold
like
and
this.
shitty the whole time we were there, and like,
Oh yeah.
if a bad battery, if a marginal battery is gonna die,
No,
it's
I'm
gonna be
aware.
when it gets cold.
I'm aware. Yeah.
So, but
I
we're
don't
going,
know.
and so I'm a mechanic, and so I'm, of course, I need someone to come jumpstart it, whatever. So the guy comes out that works at the parking lot, brings a side by side and a jump box he doesn't know how to fucking use. Tries to, jumpstart it. It's not working because he doesn't know how to use it. He's sitting there, and the battery terminals have a little bit of corrosion on them. He's sitting there giving me advice about what I need to fucking do about it. And I'm not gonna
basically
tell him.
what you're gonna want to do.
He's like, so what you want? He's like, there's a little bit of corrosion on your cables.
But usually you gotta
It's
like let them.
So I didn't say that. I'm
You
not.
let him
You
talk.
you let him talk.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
It's
tell
like,
you I'm a
it's
mechanic and
like
start
you're
this
right.
dumb fucking conversation.
Yeah, what am I gonna argue with you
Also-
for like 2 hours?
Also, like, it's not fun when you're a mechanic and you have to have somebody else come jumpstart your car. They just look at
Totally.
you like you're a fucking idiot. So I'm not gonna say it to you. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you got some corrosion on here, which also might be limiting the contact, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's not that much. You're fucking dumb. But his recommendation was for me to stop at the gas station, get a can of Coke, to pour over and clean it off, which
Yeah.
works. But stop giving people that fucking advice. It's dumb as
Yeah,
shit.
we should probably
You're a
stop telling
YouTube
people
mechanic.
to
Shut your fucking mouth.
pour a bunch of sugar
You
into
don't even
the
know how to
engine
run
of
a
their
fucking
car.
jump box. Shut
Do
up.
it.
And then the battery was like, it ran for a little bit. The battery was so dead, we didn't even make it onto Pena.
Really?
And it died again.
You didn't even make it onto Pena Boulevard
Yeah, from
without
like
it dying
from Park
while
yeah,
you're
yeah,
driving
just-
it.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
So the battery was dead.
It's
dead.
like right
The
there.
alternator couldn't even keep it going.
Oh,
It was so
no.
fucking dead.
Damn.
So it died at this busy intersection. And
Is it Pena or Pena? Pena?
Pena, I think.
Pena or Pena?
Pena.
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 Okay.
So there's a trucker behind me and he pissed like, hey, can you move your fucking car? I'm like, no shit, dumbass.
I'm
Oh,
trying.
sorry, I wish you
I'm
could.
trying to move it.
So like this lady, there was another lady that pulled it first too, like this.
I love your description of her, by the way. You
Oh, the lesbian oil worker. So she pulls up, super. She was trying to be nice and whatever. That's just first thing that comes to mind when you see her. You look like a lesbian oil worker, especially with your girlfriend in the front seat. But there, so she's like, oh, is everything okay? Do you need help? Which, in my opinion, is the dumbest fucking question. My car
Do
is
you
dead.
need help?
No.
Obviously.
No, I'm just chilling. Why?
No,
What's up?
I'm
Just hanging
smart.
out.
So she's sitting there while I'm stuck.
Bullshit
She's holding up
cans.
traffic going the other way. She's like pulled up to
Bud
me.
Light Platinum.
Do you need
And-
help?
Cute.
Or we got the windows rolled down. She's like, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, the battery just died. We just got to jump. I'm sure the battery's just shot. So she starts diagnosing my car right there.
Oh my god.
Again, I'm not going to tell you I'm a
Whips
mechanic
out the
and have that dumb
computer.
fucking conversation. But she's like, oh, what happened? I was like, no, the battery's probably
Dead.
just dead. Like, it
It's
just
done.
is what it is.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so she starts talking about how it could be the alternator, it could be this, that, and the other. I was
So
like,
what I don't need is unsolicited advice. I just told you
Yeah.
what was wrong, and here's like what's going
I
on.
know
Right.
what's wrong. I just need help pushing it to the side
Yeah.
of the fucking road. Like,
I don't want to tell you that
shut
I'm a
the fuck up
mechanic,
and
but I
just help.
am one. So shut up.
You
Like
know what's
if
crazy?
we could just push the car
same
over, that'd be
thing
great.
literally just happened not too long ago when my friends came. Right.
So like on Thanksgiving weekend.
On Thanksgiving weekend, that's when my battery decided to die. Right, so we went hiking, right? Everyone went hiking. Jody went back to the car, sat in the car, and we went,
Got the
we got to this
popcorn again.
point, and
Yeah.
there was...
The Carmel.
have you ever hiked Arthur's Rock?
No.
Well,
Not a bunch of hikers in here.
okay, well, there's... I've been up there like a multiple
Yeah, so that's
amount of
like-
times.
Is it fun? It's a fun hike.
So in the beginning, right, it's kind of fucking scary, right? There's a little like super big drop off where you have to get past before you get to the meadow or whatever it is, right? And so Jody like got there and she's like, I can't do it. There's snow on the ground. There's ice out here. There's people here. Like she freaked out because she's super scared of heights. So
Like you
she-
said, this said, by the way, sorry, I'm like,
yeah.
when you said this says no fucking dairy, this literally says contains milk.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, it doesn't end the
No, it's
ingredients.
fine. It is what it is.
Are you
It's like,
shitting your pants?
that will be later.
Contains milk and soy.
Well, sure does.
So,
I'm not perfect. okay.
But anyways.
I've had a
but
bad
anyways,
day.
I'm sorry.
All right,
No,
why
you're
don't you
fine.
rate this one off?
yeah, it's 'cause it's got butter in it. Fuck
But
that.
anyways, like piggybacking on what you're saying about the battery, like she went back down, like sat in the car.
It's caramel.
We did
How
our
are you
hike.
gonna melt it without the dairy?
Came back down, right? And then my car doesn't start. It's going, and my car's just like inside going, like just crazy shit.
So
I'm like,
we
okay,
should really
well,
split it up.
now I need to jump it, right? I get it jumped finally. But I have
Can
to
you
find some
imagine
people
if I
to
told you
hiking
that noise
praise.
about the Focus?
And next thing I know, they get it jumped, and then we get home. Like, I think I'm fine, right? And then it starts up the next day, and we go skiing, right? So we get out to the ski resort, and the way in the depths of like Loveland Ski Resort. Same
doing
thing
so
happens when
many
we're
things.
done. I'm like, oh my
Can you
god,
imagine doing so many things in one weekend?
and it's like, dude.
You're talking to the wrong group of people here. We do shit.
Yes.
So the next thing I'm like, okay, it's got to be the battery. It's got to be the battery, right? Finally figured out we go and get it changed, and it took like, but like the fact that I don't know, maybe I'm just bitching at this point, but like, it happened at the very worst time. Like you had to get the people like, you know how it feels.
Yeah.
So like, go through this. My car doesn't start. Hey man, you want to help me out? Or do you have jumper cables? No. Okay, I'll go to the next person. And it was like, next person. Like, oh, it's just.
He did not ask me. I just want to let everybody know.
But I was in
he
like
did
Loveland
not ask
ski
me.
area, you know. I couldn't ask you. So.
Which ironically was nowhere near level.
So yeah.
That is super funny, actually. I like.
It's nowhere near level.
Yeah.
Well, it's Loveland Ski Resort.
That's like
No.
in the mountains, like.
Yeah, it's
you've
like
been
an
there, right?
hour drive from
Jump, we
Loveland.
it's like
all
2
know
hour
where it
drive.
is.
Well, it is 2
I'm
hours.
just
It's 2 hours,
saying,
an hour
he
from
has
It's
all
like
these
Denver,
people.
and then an hour west. Yeah.
There you
pretty
go.
much,
Where
right.
actual Loveland's 2 hours away. Doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah.
Well, that's just one of those moments. where, like,
Eisenhower, right?
Well, then
Yes.
yeah. So
Loveland
that's,
Pass
that
is what it
makes me
is.
feel like
Oh,
okay,
okay.
my battery is in this car for probably since it was born, right? 13 years, or what is it? 2013.
Since
so
I
it's
birthed this car.
7 years old.
Since I built
That's
it.
actually
replaced
a really
my
good
own
life for the
replacement
battery.
battery,
That's a really
right?
good life for the
7
battery,
years
right?
is not
You're a
great,
mechanic,
yeah.
so you know that's probably like past its life, and it finally just died all of a sudden, and then
Yeah, well,
at
when
the
the
worst
Focus...
time when your friends are here and like trying to like go take them skiing. and shit.
You say it's the worst time, but actually you got really lucky because you guys had a rental car there.
No, we didn't. Well,
What?
Gerard did, yeah, but
Yeah.
we couldn't fit in there. We had like fucking 8 people.
How did you guys all fit in the
We
Kia?
got my shit jumped.
How did you guys all fit in the Kia?
Well, it was like half and a half.
But they
Oh,
had
you
no
guys
jump.
had two cars.
They had no jumper cables.
But we
No, I'm aware. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm testing him on this one. Anyway, okay.
Okay.
Because I was also like, how'd you guys go to Top Golf and somebody drove you back when you guys were all shit canned? That was a moment.
yeah, we
He's like, well, Gerard doesn't
we
drink. And I was like,
piled
oh.
in on that one.
That's the
Well,
moment.
But we're not gonna take a 2-hour drive back from that.
Somebody
doing the
sitting
same
on
thing, you know
someone's
what I mean?
lap.
Right.
We're not gonna pile in a 2-hour drive like doing that. shit. That
Oh,
was like a
remember when
40-minute
we
drive.
used to lap it?
When we're all drunk, like it
Somebody
doesn't
get on
matter,
someone's
like,
lap.
but-
Yeah, I mean, we put 11 people in the Envoy.
yeah.
11, 12 people.
Well, it sits.
I mean, as long
It's
as
2,
6, 7,
3,
8.
and 2.
as long
So
as the
it's
person
7.
driving doesn't care and like
Oh no,
you know,
Peter
everybody
packed that
else is,
shit
like,
up.
fine with like piling on top
Also,
of each
the
other.
like a very racist scenario there, but
Well, when you're high and drunk, you really don't care coming back.
Exactly,
What are you just giggling in the back? You're all,
pretty much.
Tissle
no,
sloppy
like
floppy.
I mean, that's kind of. God damn it.
Chick-fil-A.
I love that story, even though it's such a ridiculous scenario. 13 one time. 13 in what?
Envoy.
In the car.
Was it in the Envoy? I don't think we put 13 in
That's
the
just what I'm
Envoy.
guessing. What else you gonna put 13?
We put 7 people in a Jeep Wrangler.
Eh,
13
you gotta.
hours, is that what you're
Why?
saying?
You
Well,
put
we-
17 people in a Jeep
7.
Wrangler? Oh, I was like,
17.
what the fuck is that?
17 would be ridiculous. Dick.
we had
Well,
on the
people
hood.
are on laps. They're hanging off the back bumper.
There was a guy in the engine compartment and a horseshoe around the
You
engine.
know what my dad told me, and I think we can maybe, Dick, you might be able to vibe with this. When my dad was like, when we were younger, we used to take the school trays, right? Because they're smooth on the
I
bottom.
love this.
And
It's my
like
favorite.
throw them under, and we
Yeah,
hold
you
on to
go-
the
and-
bumpers
and-
of the buses, and they drag you down the street.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
also very fun. I was thinking the
Put
other
them
way.
under the wheels.
So you put it on a front-wheel drive car, you put them on
Put
the
'em
back,
under the
so you
rear.
put parking brake on, and then you
You guys are careless like
Well, have
shit.
you
I don't
guys
even
ever
know.
like? So I'm gonna tell you.
I
what
do, but I have done the back.
Yeah.
we hold on the back of the trucks.
Yeah.
I've also done it with just shoes, where you don't even you just ruin your shoes.
It's a really good way to ruin
So have you
your
ever
fucking
like
steps, man.
taken people like on a tube behind a truck?
Oh yeah.
Said, hey,
We used to do it around.
hope you survive.
One of
Here we go.
Scott's, one of like
We
my
used to hook
roommates
up
like
sleds.
favorites.
Oh,
Favorite like stories is when we had that. It was like 2015, I think we had like that like pretty good blizzard here, and he had the time he had this lifted Tahoe, and he got on a snowboard, and I fucking towed him around this
Yeah.
neighborhood on his snowboard, and it's crazy how much like pressure you could put with a snowboard on a truck. It would
Yeah.
like start twisting the truck
Were
sideways.
you,
and
were
put
you
so
on the
much pressure
backside or were you?
No, I
driving?
was driving.
Well, do you remember when
His
people
wife-
That's
would,
really
his
dangerous
wife
when
at
you're
the
pulling
time-
somebody behind the truck. is-
people would hook up
Super
their
dangerous.
kayaks?
Super
That
Well,
same
the only thing
situation,
that's-
same year, people would hook up their kayaks and
Oh,
be doing
the
this
kayak-
exact
oh,
same shit.
The only
That
thing that's
kayak-
super
like
dangerous about
fucking like
being
roof
pulled-
surfing was like a fucking like the shit that year.
Well, the only
Right
thing
off
that's
the
super
roof?
dangerous about being pulled behind anything in any condition is the person behind the wheel has to know what the fuck
They're doing, yeah.
Because like even like in a boat, people who are like pulling tubes behind them,
Yeah.
they don't understand the fact that when you take a turn, you're gonna whip the fucking shit
Yep.
out of that person.
Well, it depends
Yeah.
on the speed, right? You gotta slow down on the turns, right? So my parents.
Buses
But you
were
need to
always
slow
safe.
down because as they whip out, they're gonna accelerate.
I know they
So
are.
if you take
Yeah.
that turn and don't
So you have to
slow
slow down.
you're doubling their
And that's what
fucking
my mom
speed.
used
I
to
actually
do.
wish Scott was here to tell because we almost got tagged by. He almost got tagged by a truck. We came out in the street and the truck was like, "Rrr," and it was like,
This conversation is stressful.
So I don't know. I don't know if you guys are like big on water sports, but like, have you guys ever like tubed or skied or like wakeboarded
Oh, yeah.
or whatever?
Yep.
Right. So my mom like had a boat and we'd get behind it, and it was her mission to like
Rip you off.
literally
She sent her
fucking
kids to the
kill,
hospital.
kill us.
"Yep."
And
That's-
I'm like, Mom, what
She's
the
a
fuck?" Next
bitch
thing I
of a
know,
mother.
I hit a wake on a tube.
What's up, man?
Next thing I know,
How
I'm
you doing?
like fucking 10 feet in the
Was
air.
that the
and I'm like,
real-
no.
Was it the
it's
real-
crazy.
Real TK.
Real TK.
I don't even know what
So
that
there
means.
was one we were in Lake Lovin with some of my friends when we were in high school, and they had this really fun raft that it could fit 3 people, but there was also an arch over the top, so you could get on your knees, or your feet if you were feeling a little risky.
Yes.
And
Very
we
risky.
but we played it right. Like, you don't fucking lay down, don't be a pussy. At least you
Exactly.
get
Get
on
on
your knees.
your knees. Do
But so and it
yeah.
was
Oh, no.
relatively like curved to where even hauling ass around the corner, if you're all leaning, it's got enough surface area.
You got
to,
enough,
skip.
but you can hang on, right?
Yeah, but
It's
we
like one of those
the
things.
goal would be when someone takes a turn, you hope you're in the middle because then you're safe. If you're on the outside, we take a turn, everyone leaned into the turn,
Yeah.
and you're trying to get that person on the outside to like get clipped into the water, so they just get
Dude.
ripped away from the fucking
Oh
tube.
my god.
That was my favorite thing in the world. Like it was like,
And
all right, mom,
so-
get me on this tube. Let's go.
We were doing that. I was in the middle, and I was leaning into this guy super hard. He got clipped, and I kind of lost my balance, and then all of a sudden I was sideways on the tube. And we hit a wake, and the tube was probably going about 40 because the guy on the boat was going about 60
Yeah.
on this turn.
Flew.
And I flew and like back right into another wake that was coming off the jet ski.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Dude,
And I also
and-
lost my suit.
Yeah. I've like
Butt-ass
lost my
naked,
pants.
stuck in the
I've
fucking
lost
water.
my entire like life jacket, pants, everything. I ended up naked in the water once.
Yeah. it's just-
Literally ended up
How it
naked.
happens.
That's what happens with water. It works that way.
What the fuck?
I love being on the tube, like trying to get. It's pretty hard to get me off a tube.
What the fuck?
Bet. Let's
What
fucking
the
get
fuck?
a boat and a tube.
I mean,
All right. Well,
I
No,
have.
we're gonna get a tube, and then I'm gonna talk to fucking
Dude, that's why I
What's
want to
his
get a
nuts?
boat. That's why I want to get a truck first of all.
So you can
Cletus.
get a boat.
I would have him hook me
Yes.
up with this drag boat
It's like
friend.
progressive.
that's fucking
It's
Finnegan's.
it's progressive.
Yeah,
gotta
Finnegan.
take
I'm gonna
video.
tell you
I need
behind
the
him.
one thing.
I'm not
so I
gonna
can
do it,
carry
but I'm
the
gonna
other
have him
thing.
tell you behind that thing.
And I have like a thing to
I mean, I got a Kia to
Probably just pull the route.
Works.
Now.
Works.
Depends
on the boat.
that's too
You know
fast.
what I mean?
You
I
can't
need
tow
something
it.
that
They'll
can
just
toast
break.
and shit.
It would just
I
pull
mean-
the end of
Next.
the tube off.
Yeah, this is such a really good example. Like, I know women who are like this, but I know way more women who are not like this. Like, when me and my sister went, what is it called?
Tubing?
No.
Boating?
Too big.
Oh, paddleboarding.
Yeah, paddleboarding.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, let's like try it. Like, let's get like kind of risky with it. You fall into the lake. Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, you
How
swim.
risky can you
Yeah, I
get
know
with
how
a
to like.
paddleboard?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you-
That's
never mind.
okay.
Okay, so this
So
story
here's
is
the deal.
fucking
Us
great.
Filipino people call it surfing.
Right.
Shut the fuck
Colorado people don't, obviously. But here's the deal. So I was
But
like,
it's like flat water, you know?
are we talking over me right now? Do I need to like
Sorry,
put in a
sorry,
moment
sorry,
here?
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
All right. So me and
Go ahead.
so me and my sister go and we paddleboard, and I'm like, well, we're out here and we're doing it, and Nicole paid for this, so I was like, well, let's like fucking do it then. And I'm out there like just like no fucking problem. And
Thanks, man.
Nicole's out there like she's like will not even get off her butt on the paddleboard. She's wearing her life jacket. She is like, I'm not so sure about this. And she is the person that literally paid to like do this. She was the one that like wanted to go and do this. And I was like, yeah, let's like go and do it. And she was like, I'm not so sure about this. And what's funny is like she was like, Kate, take a picture of me. And I was like, I don't know if
There's
this is
nothing cool
the
about
picture
you
that
sitting
you
on a
want right
surfboard.
now. I was like, take a picture of me.
I love it.
I was like, take a picture of me. Because I was like, if I take a picture of you, you're wearing like a life jacket and like a helmet at this point. Like,
Throw that shit off, stand up, and
yeah, I'm
fucking
like,
take the
for
picture.
1 second, your life jacket is literally connected to the board. She's wearing the life jacket that they like.
Oh, so she's got the
It's got a
strap
leash.
on there?
On the paddleboard?
She's like, well, actually, no, I'm wrong. So they put a life jacket on the board because they have to.
Yeah, you have
But
to.
she's wearing the life
lost
jacket
mine.
that she was like, can I have a life jacket?
Right.
And so she's wearing the life jacket that also connects underneath the crotch. So she's like,
Oh,
fucking,
she's wearing like
she's
the...
crotched
She's wearing
in.
a toddler
Yeah.
life jacket.
She's in there. So I was like,
Can she swim?
We're not sure now.
Yeah, can't she swim?
that's debatable.
After this,
Can she
like...
float?
Her ass can for sure.
Then take the fucking life jacket off.
Well, and here's the thing on the So here's the thing on the goal. We grew
Well,
up with like
you're a swimmer, and I like to swim and like the kind of thing, but like,
I can
But
swim.
a lot of people don't know how, you know?
well,
It's
that's why like with Nicole, we're not really sure if she can.
Yeah.
We don't know if she can or not, which is really surprising because we grew up with in-ground pools our
Well,
entire life.
Did
Because
you have swimming lessons?
am I talking?
or-
No.
I'll say it's also kind of cool. So
I'm
now,
just asking.
but really quick nowadays, there are places where you can go and you can actually pay somebody to teach you how to not drown.
Yeah, they're called swimming lessons.
Not drown.
So
Hey,
I'm
don't
not
drown.
sure.
Here's the way to do it.
You know, me and
You go
Jamie,
like-
or me and my other sister, we had swimming lessons. I don't really know if Nicole got swimming lessons, but Nicole was also, I remember this like, this is like my favorite thing in the entire world. I don't know if Nicole can
Paddleboarding?
swim. No. Listen to the
Thrill.
story.
Okay.
I don't know if Nicole can swim, but I know for sure that Nicole has always been the person, because she was the oldest one, who was tasked with cleaning every pool that we had. Every morning she had to go out and she had to skim the pool. That was like her job. And like the amount of times that Nicole fell into the pool, I actually don't think that she can swim.
Did you kick
But
her
I
in the
know,
pool?
no. I actually remember
I
one time I was watching,
I mean,
like
as a-
I woke up and I like put up the blinds in my room and I looked at Nicole and she was cleaning the pool and then Nicole was like not cleaning the pool anymore. And I went downstairs and I was like, Dad, I think Nicole fell in the pool. And he's like, no, she didn't. And I was like, no, I really think that she did. And we walked out and I was like 10. And we walked out there and Nicole was like just sopping wet. And my dad was like, what happened? She's like, I fell in. And he was like,
So she can't walk.
what
either.
the fuck? She's not the most coordinated person. But Nicole has always had this thing where like maybe Nicole can't swim. And actually I think that she can. Nicole can swim. Nicole can tread water. So like
That's good.
That's all you need.
That's
but
good.
Nicole
That's
has,
good.
yeah, it's. But
Yeah,
Nicole
that's
has
good.
had
That's
this
good
like
skill.
moment where she's like, I'm gonna put like goggles on and I'm gonna try to go under the surface, and she's never been able to dive under the surface because her buttholes are buoyant. So like
Her butthole's
her
buoyant.
butt holds her.
You know, fat is buoyant.
Dude,
Her
I heard
butt
something
floats.
so different.
So like she cannot, like she doesn't know how to like dive underneath the surface. So like she'll be, she's like the rest of her body will be like her.
She's
legs
trying
and,
as hard
like,
as she
her
can,
face
just ass.
will be underneath.
It's
Exactly what it is.
It's on top of the wall.
Exactly what it
She's
is.
trying as hard as she
She's
can.
trying the most that she can to like get under the surface, and all you're seeing at the top is like her butt, and it's going like this because she's trying the most that she can.
For some
to,
reason
get
now I
under.
just
Well, she
picture like
breathing
fucking like Cardi B. trying to
She
go
like
underwater.
comes up for air and then she goes back under. It's
Oh, no.
hilarious. So Nicole, to be fair with you, she can't swim, but Nicole can tread water.
Alright.
If anything, your butt will save you.
If she can get her face back
yes.
up there, the butt can
In
save.
science, get your mouth above water, take a deep breath. Your lungs turn into your own fucking life vest. They fill up with air. Which
Like
is
if she was on the
buoyant.
Titanic, can you imagine? They're like, you survived those icy cold waters and like you were saved. How? And she's like, I don't.
Because you could have fit at least 5 people in that door.
I tried to drown, but my butt kept me afloat.
Just saying.
Like,
But I'll tell you
We're gonna
what,
talk about that dumb bullshit.
any
You
of
could
us in
fit
the, like,
5
cold
people
ass
on that
water
door.
like that, who's gonna survive? You know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
No, cool. So that was
This
part of
conversation
when-
has turned a very random turn.
when I was in the Boy Scouts. I did like a lot of the water
You
activities.
were Boy Scouts too?
Yeah.
Were you an Eagle
shoot.
Scout?
No.
every
Me
man
either.
here
What'd you
was
get
in the
to?
Boy Scouts.
Star.
I got
Dick,
to.
what'd you get to?
I was
life,
Boy Scouts.
and that
I
was
don't
it.
Yeah.
And then
I
I was
was
like,
Boy
you know
Scouts
what?
at camp. I
Now I have to
didn't
play
go
football.
anywhere with it.
And pretty much. you
I
know
did. My
what
brother went on, but we were like I wanted like all the water badges, and part of like getting the nice kayaking one
Yeah.
is you have to learn how to
To
take it like
dive and like, yeah.
Don't
Don't you
Overturn
have to
your
be able to
overturn,
roll?
right?
You have to overturn your
be able
boat.
to roll.
Yes.
But
That
when
was
you
the
get
best
the advanced
one.
badge, we were up in Red Feather in the middle of the winter, where
Yeah.
the water's like 20 fucking degrees.
Right.
And you've
How
got to
old
be
were you?
like 14.
A kid, yeah. It's Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Well, now it's just Scouts because people suck dick. But
Jesus,
that's a
don't tell
different
me that.
story.
I don't want to be a.
It's just Scouts now, so girls can feel like they have a penis. But for whatever reason.
Well, I have all
We
this
were
big
actually
dick
having this discussion the
energy.
other day.
Dumb
I
shit.
have all this big
It is.
dick
It really
energy.
is. Because now there's a bunch of gay little fucking.
Well,
Nope.
granted,
people
Nuh-uh.
and Boy
No,
Scouts.
no,
Calm it down.
Granted,
Calm it down.
Girl Scouts also are
No,
boring.
there's.
Girl Scouts don't do shit but sell cookies. Boy Scouts get to do all the cool high adventure park
Yeah,
shit.
but there's a lot of
I
like
agree. That's why they let
scenarios
girls
that
in
have
the
been
Boy Scouts now.
happening in the Boy Scouts.
But
First of all,
anyway,
so
this
many
water-
chapters
Anyway,
are getting.
I have
The Boy
so
Scouts
much-
have
I'm sorry,
like
I'm sorry.
20
I have-
lawsuits against them
I
right
have
now.
so many
sorry.
experiences with this scenario.
Were you
But continue your
molested?
story.
But
No.
so we had to turn over. The water is about
Fortunately, I was-
20,
Yes,
25
yes,
degrees.
yes.
I was
Yeah.
not pretty enough.
You gotta-
Which
you
is
gotta, like,
colder
turn it
than
over,
like a
right.
typical polar plunge, just super frozen, and you get in there, and your body just starts to shut down.
Oh, dude.
Your
Dude,
chest
have you guys ever
cavity
been to cold water?
collapses, everything fucking,
Woo!
it sucks.
Yeah, there was
Sucks.
pictures of me and Travis in Horsetooth in January.
Picture that like minus 15
It
degrees.
is cold. I jumped in
bad.
on
No,
where
I-
to go.
There it
I
is.
want- I want-
Yeah.
I want to do a real polar plunge too. Actually, the time that you did it when it was frozen over.
Yeah, because you guys did it the year after when there was like no ice, right?
Well, the year before that was no
So
ice.
these guys do like the 5K,
Oh yeah.
and then they do.
We did a
Polar
5K while
plunge,
drinking
yeah.
beer and then drove in cold water.
Yeah, it's
Woo-hoo.
Good time.
So last time I went camping, like we went to where was it? Up in fuck, I
You're
forget.
asking me, but like you told me
I
where
forget
it
the
was,
name
I
of it, but
wasn't
like
there.
I jumped into this
Burned
water.
down.
It's a lake. It's up near. I don't fucking know. Anyways,
So past Red Feather, if you will.
So
like,
we're
I
doing
think if
Chambers?
you go past
Chambers
like-
Lake.
Yeah,
Chambers Lake.
I
Yeah,
love
that's what it
Chambers,
is.
and it's
That's what
burnt
it is.
down, So
So we found like a great spot. Took the paddleboards out, and then we said, okay,
Oh,
hey,
no.
let's jump in. Let's jump in. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Pop, where's those puppy floppy?
Jumping into that water was the most like,
What the fuck?
oh my gosh, like cold, like I can't do anything. Like it just like shocks you into a submission. Like I gotta get out. I gotta get out. Like it's cold.
I don't know, like
It's cold.
you know, I've done like the polar plunge like we've done here, which is, you know, last year wasn't too bad because the lake was very very full. This year, and the lake was very very full, so it wasn't too bad. The year before that, it was very warm outside, but there was ice on the ground.
Right. Yeah, it was warm. here
Ice
too,
on the
yeah.
stuff, so like we can only go out so far. Like you can like go very deep. The year before that, it was snowing outside, but there wasn't a lot of ice, so the water wasn't too bad.
Right.
But I want to do like a real polar plunge, like in a fucking.
I would too.
Like
cut
in
up-
New York.
We have to cut out a whole no ice.
I would like, yeah. No, like I want to do like a real.
So have
real
you
scenario.
done it, or like have you
Oh,
like
yeah.
dumped in ice, or? Like,
Oh yeah,
You've taken ice
So
bath.
how
Yeah,
does that feel? Like what happened?
You've never
with-
taken an ice bath?
No.
ice baths are great.
Ice
Honestly,
bath?
they're fantastic.
I wouldn't like purposely like say, hey, I'm
I
gonna
think it
get in
depends.
this bath of ice.
If you're
Yeah.
doing
But
it
if
for the
it's in, like, in a
benefits of
lake-
why they're done, then they're great.
Yeah.
Well,
If you're doing it for fun, it just kind of sucks.
even
yeah,
then,
exactly.
like, okay.
That's kind of my mentality.
So,
right?
like, when I was growing up and, like, taking an ice bath was the worst thing in the world because you had to.
You
But,
had
like,
to?
yeah, I mean,
Why do you have to?
well, because you're training so hard in, like, a sport, you need to, like, kind of,
Is that
ice
literally what
yourself
they
down.
tell you to do?
So it helps
Yeah.
reduce the inflammation when your muscles are working super hard. It's like
yeah,
when I was in
you gotta
swimming,
cool it down.
So if I worked out, like I work out every day, like seriously, like every day, and then
Obviously.
if I would get into like an ice bath, I feel like I would freak out. Like
but like working out every day versus like when I was swimming,
When you're in,
I
like, a
swam-
really intense sport,
I swam
you-
like 10 to 12 miles a day between two different workouts.
Yeah,
like,
you
every
have to
day.
combat the inflammation that's going on in your body.
And that's
so,
a lot different than just like doing a 1 or 2 hour workout every day. Like it
Go
was.
that way. Go that way.
is it though?
Nicole's just like, okay,
Yeah.
so here's the deal. When your whole body is working and not just a section of your body, when your whole body is working to do these things, when you're swimming, when you're in gymnastics, when
Sure,
you're
yeah.
running like an insane amount,
yeah.
when you're really
When
putting
you're
your
doing
body
some
through
sort
a lot of
full core
stress,
sport.
you gotta like ice your body down a little bit, and it's really good for your body anyway. You jump into an ice bath, even like in some like situations, you jump into an ice bath and you jump into a hot shower if you have the ability to do both at the same time, right?
Is that what you did? Like
Only
usually,
if you
like,
have
in
the.
ice and
I've
then
never
get
had
in a
the
hot shower
ability
or
to
what?
do it at the same time.
So like even I used to just because we had a
So
hot
what
we had a
sport
hot
were you in?
tub growing up.
Yeah,
You get in
yeah.
the hot tub and then you get out and go lay in the snow for a few seconds.
Were you a football player?
Swimmer?
Swimmer. You're
Yeah.
a swimmer?
He literally
Dude.
just told you that he was swimming. But anyway, so like, what? Okay, but like that
Yeah, I tried
idea.
swimming, it's hard.
I
It's
don't
hard.
like.
But swim.
I don't like the idea of getting into like. It is beneficial, but to me, it like the shock that comes from that is not beneficial.
Yeah.
For my muscles, it's fine to do it. Like the pain that comes with that, I don't fucking like it.
Well,
There's so much
are health
external
benefits
pain
to
that
just
comes
cold
with it.
water in general.
Well, for
Yeah.
sure, but like when you should,
But that's
like
where the
when
polar plunge
I
came
like
from.
personally, I was like, no, like I
I'll
can't,
tell you
I
what,
don't
like,
fucking.
The polar
like it.
plunge is a fun thing, but there's countries where like people start their day off with a polar plunge.
Well, they also tell you like if you take a hot shower in the morning, then like finish it up with like an ice, like slam it over to like the coldest like thing that you can get. Right? It should be good for your hair. It should be good for your skin. Like all these things. I won't fucking do it because it hurts my skin so fucking much to switch it up like that.
No pain, no gain. So
Yes.
like in the shower, like you were saying, you get like your
It hurts. Like
hair
my
doesn't
skin
benefit as
literally
much like
gets
your
like
skin. So the point is, you get hot,
so
you
stiff.
open up all your pores, you wash everything off, and you switch over to cold really quick.
And you
sucks your
close them
pores
all
shut.
down.
So I'll
Done.
tell you something about swimming. Like what I learned, like going out for swimming on senior year, whatever. Like I was like, man, this sport's gonna be so easy.
Nope.
And then next thing I know, I'm like, holy shit! But the next thing I knew, like that first like 6 a.m. dive into the water. Oh man, that is
Great
like,
way to
that is
wake
a
up.
wake up. Like let's go! Holy shit, let's go! And like feeling the water. I like swimming a lot. I sucked at it, but either way, like the only reason I went out when I was a senior basically was just go skiing here in Colorado, because that was the trip at the end of the year. And Corey, my buddy Corey, was like, hey, just go out for swimming, for whatever, and then we'll go skiing at the end of the year. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I do it. Next thing I know, I'm like, wow, this is way harder than I thought. Like,
It is hard.
you know,
Swimming
holy
is
crap,
hard.
swimming is so hard.
When you're doing it
Yep.
competitively, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I mean-
but it's a great workout, and it is one of the one things that like can easily clear your mind as soon as you hit that water. As soon as you hit that water, like You know what I mean? Like that was cool to me. I don't know.
Yeah, there were times. So I did all the high school and city stuff, but I got to a point where I started being competitive, and I got into like a swim club and like a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
In the summer, we swam long course, and the only long course pool around here is besides Epic, but they don't just change it for practice.
They don't do it very often. Yeah.
So were you freestyle or what was your jam?
Freestyle and backstroke.
Okay. Yeah.
Like so, the Epic indoor pool up here, they can do so you've got the short and the long. Where short is just the 25-yard pool.
Yep.
And you got long course, it's the 50-meter pools, the long one.
But you still have to go up and down, right? You like gotta have the flip turns down and like all that
I
shit.
see your wedding ring.
Well, so that was like when I did like the 50 free, I was a sprinter.
Yeah.
back.
That's all I could do.
So like the 50 free, when you do it in
The
short
back of the
course,
turtle. It's like a turtle.
Yeah.
it's down and back, right?
That's it.
But when you do it in long course, it's down. That's it. It's that long. It's 50 meters down the
That's a
fucking
big
pool.
ass pool, dude.
It is.
Holy
So like
shit.
Epic can do it. They have the bulkheads in the middle of the pool where they can lengthen it and open up the entire pool and do it, but they don't do it for normal
So
practices.
you just dive in and like.
It's like for the 50, you dive in, you
Let's
haul
fucking
ass.
haul that, yeah.
Which
Oh,
you
man.
usually go a little bit faster because you don't have to turn.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're pushing like.
That would be my jam too.
But I was to the point where I was pushing like 21 seconds, 20 seconds.
Damn, that's good, man.
Like it's.
Holy
I was very
shit.
competitive. I was doing it for quite a while. But yeah, we go out in long course for the summer, and the only pool that's naturally long course is out in Greeley. It's an outdoor
Yeah.
like community pool or like
Yeah.
a public pool, but when you put in the lane lines, it's 50 meters.
So,
And
nice.
it's
I'm gonna tell like a super embarrassing story what happened to me with my swimming experience.
Did you poop in the pool?
No, I was put in as like a backstroke. They're like, you're doing the backstroke. I'm like, Coach, I've never done the fucking backstroke in my life. So he threw me in a meet, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So the next thing I know, I'm like on the like barriers, on the whatever, and I stand up in the 3-foot section. Get disqualified. Everyone's like all the way down, and I'm like sitting here like, what do I do? And like all my friends are sitting there laughing at me. Like it was like the most embarrassing thing as a high school. Like
you don't stop.
yeah, I stood up. I stood up.
That is embarrassing.
You know, because I couldn't do it. I didn't know how to do it.
Like I'm like that is embarrassing. As an adult, that wouldn't be embarrassing or like whatever. I'm like out. But like as a high schooler, can you imagine? You're all.
Oh my god, it sucked. It sucked. It sucked. But I tried. You know what? Whatever.
Well, that was my
Either
favorite
way.
when we had like outdoor meets. So usually backstroke, when you're doing it, you've got to know your count from the flags to the wall, so you know when to time your turn. And then, but when you're inside, you can usually track the ceiling just to make sure you're going in a straight fucking line for the most part.
I had no idea what that shit was.
So usually like the ceiling, it's usually running the same way as the pool, and you can find the fucking line.
Yeah, you're
or
gonna be
seam.
able to spot.
I tried. I mean,
You
I'm
go
not
straight.
sure.
But when you go into an outdoor pool, you're fucked.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
It's sky. There's the sun. Ah.
You just try to like find a cloud and like, okay,
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't like change orientation, which it's already kind
Yeah.
of fucking doing anyways. That's a lot of fun.
People
I don't
always
know.
like they're like, how do like these girls in like gymnastics like do this thing? And I'm like, there's a constant spot.
Do what?
And like, well, how do you like stay on a beam and like flip over it?
You learn how to spot. Yeah.
I'm like, it's a spot.
Just like
There's
the,
a spot the
yeah,
end of
just
the
like
beam.
ballet dancers who can spin 10 times in a row. You see
That's
their head.
it.
They
That's
spot,
exactly it.
so they
I'm
know
like,
where they're
your
fucking
head
going.
is
Yeah,
constantly
you're right.
turning and you're spotting the entire time. Like you're not gonna not look at that space. If you don't, then you're gonna fuck this entire thing up.
Well, you're gonna lose count of how many times you turn, and you're gonna get
You're
dizzy
gonna
as
get
shit.
insanely sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
The
It
spot
always
always
fun.
exists.
All sports are crazy. It's wild how much like concentration you have to have and understanding of the sport you need to have before you're gonna be good at it. And like you think you can just like dive into any of them, but you can't. You
I
can't.
get so much shit for swimming from like different because
Dude, how
like
long
especially
have
in
you been
high
going?
school.
What do you mean
like-
you got shit?
It's like especially in high school, like people just write off swimming. But it's just
Fuck
bullshit.
that! It's a hard sport, and
Yeah,
I
but unless you've-
lived that.
But
you know
unless
what I
you've
mean?
done it,
yeah, it's hard.
it's like the two hardest sports to do are fucking
It is.
track and field and swimming.
I don't think
It
it's
is.
because they don't think it's hard. I think it's because what
They're
they have to
ignorant.
wear.
They don't know. They don't know.
It's the best.
I think it's
Swimming
because
is
what they have to wear.
That was the
say
thing. No one came to watch men's swimming.
I'd say swimming is the best cardio you can
Except
ever
for all
do
the
for
girls
yourself,
that were thirsty as
and
hell.
like not be like joint.
Okay, we're combating
Fuck
me
that,
like
you know what I
I get it, but like in high school, people don't want to be on the swim team unless they already know how to swim and they know that they're good at it, or because they don't want to be on it because of what they have to wear, right? So like, ask a high school like
I didn't care
kid
about that.
what his idea of a swimsuit is, and you're probably not going to get like
Speedo.
a Speedo. Be like,
So-
well, I bought these like really sick Burton ones from like whatever, or like these
You're gonna
PacSun
have
ones,
a
like.
hard time.
Yeah,
So-
you're never gonna
so-
be able to do it. So like, no, baby, hold 2 seconds. Just, I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. Like when, like that's like the big, like when you're in high school, you're thinking about this big giant image, all these like material things, like how you look, like all these things. So like, if you're gonna show, everybody's like sad about their bodies in high school.
Yeah, it wasn't, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But like, a lot
don't
of
give a
people
fuck.
are,
I
right?
don't
So
know.
like people.
A lot of people are though. Yes.
Like
Very
people,
self-conscious.
like a lot of women don't join the swim team even if they're like amazing because they have to be in the swimming suit, right? Like in high school. I'm not gonna call them women.
No,
I
so
guess.
like, so
little
like girls swimming was always fine. Like because
Well, everybody's gonna go
most-
see girls swimming because it's girls in swimming suits.
right. So, but like guys, yeah, no one wanted to go see a bunch of dudes in fucking speedos.
Exactly.
Did I tell you what?
Which is
this
weird because you pretty
transpired
much
to?
get to see almost everything.
Yeah.
I would have totally been there. I would have been like, I don't know what like the situation I'm about to deal with it. Like especially as
That's
like
the
a
thing, like-
freshman in high school, I would have been like, we should go to like a swim meet. Does anybody want to go to a swim meet like with me? Because like I want to see
Well, that's the
like
thing, like, you-
what I'm not seeing.
You're not going to see a bunch of fat kids in speedos. Like the guys who are there were some, but like when you get in, you just watch like the more competitive good guys. We're all in great shape. I weighed 80 pounds less than I do now.
That's crazy.
Almost
Yeah.
90 now.
Yeah.
So
So
I was in very good shape, and physically I looked alright. That's why I didn't care. I was like,
But-
I'll wear a
but-
speedo. My
but we're-
senior picture for our swim
Yeah.
team, all of us seniors, we were in a speedo and a bow tie.
Oh my
when
God,
we're in
my
high
summer
school,
pictures
like
are so
that's easy
embarrassing.
to do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that's
Yeah,
the
baby,
MO.
we're not talking about 18 versus 30.
But I mean, but that's what it was, right? And so what transpired
None
out
of us
of
were looking at 30-year-olds
what
when
if
we were in high
the
school.
only reason I went into high school swimming was to go on a ski trip, and what it turned into was all of us getting in our speedos and skiing down Breckenridge Mountain here in
It
Colorado.
sounds like a very dude thing to do.
And
Yeah, but
I,
even now,
I loved it.
like,
you know what I
being
mean?
90
Like
pounds
that was
more than I
that was
weigh,
awesome.
I would still wear a speedo just for fun because it's hilarious.
Okay,
You're
well, I have
so
to ask you,
funny, dude.
Do you
It was
do
so
you
funny.
care? Like, do you
It
care
was
what
so
people
funny.
think about you as much
I
as
know.
you did back then?
But
No.
who cares, you know?
No, and nobody should.
But,
Like,
even,
nobody
but even back
cares.
then, I didn't really care too much.
I didn't either.
Well, you
I
didn't
had-
have to.
I had my
You didn't
good,
have to.
but even like just outside of just how I looked physically, like I had my good group of friends. We got along. I didn't play into all that dumb bullshit.
Did you ever go through a point in your life where you felt like it was not okay to do that?
So I guess when I first started,
When you felt like insecure about doing that, I guess.
yeah,
Like,
it was
not
when
okay,
I
but
first
like insecure.
when I first started swimming club, I was a little bit chunkier. When I
Yeah.
first started getting like super competitive swimming. So and it was funny because David, one of my good friends, I think you've met him. He's one of those in Arizona. He comes up every now and then.
Oh, I think I met him one time.
So
Maybe not that,
we've known each
maybe.
other for a long time. We swam together in every high school club. We stuck together. And I remember it was the first day of club practice. And these kids have been swimming in club. For me, it was even good getting in because club is expensive, and my family didn't have a lot of money. So they gave us like
Club is
financial.
fucking expensive.
They gave us financial assistance so I can get in. But these guys have been doing it since they were kids because their parents did it, which is kind of what they
Yeah.
did.
Right.
So they're all in super good shape, and I'm a little bit on the chunkier side, which I worked off in the first couple months because it's very aggressive workouts. But I remember going out to the first.
Let me hand me that.
No, actually, no. It was the first middle school practice. That's right. When I started getting serious into swimming, I
So
remember
in middle
coming
school,
out.
this like moment happened.
It was 6th grade, my first practice. I remember going out in my jammers, which is like it's still skin tight. But they come
I
down
know what
about right
jammers
here.
are. I make
Yeah.
fun of jammers all the time.
They're the best.
I don't know. Because I like saying the word jammers.
It is funny.
Yeah.
You wear your jammers and your tracksuit, which
You gotta
is
get
like the
your jammers.
mesh diaper.
Wear your jammers. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
So we were record, but I walked in and we were at Mountain View, indoor pool, super fucking hot above water because it's just indoor. It's that muggy pool.
Mountain
scene.
View in Loveland?
This
Yeah,
is
I
Mountain View
remember
High
when
School
that school
because
was
this is
getting
when
built.
this is when Loveland High School didn't have a pool.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a pool until my senior year, which was a pain in the ass for us to get. That sucked to head off, but
Were they rebuilding it?
Well, so
There was a pool when I was there.
There was, and the problem with the pool,
We're doing such a good job of dragging conversations outside of what we're actually talking about.
they had a pool when you were there, but the problem with the pool they had, it was the old school pool design where you have the pool and there's a basement to the pool where the pumps are. Any type of big pool, you're asking for trouble, and eventually the pool shell cracked.
Yeah.
Which is why they shut down the pool.
Okay,
so
I was just wondering in that situation, so.
So they did. It was shut down by the time I got there, and then pretty much the junior and senior year, even maybe sophomore, we started doing fundraisers and stuff to get, because we went to the school district, because Thompson School District sucks at managing money, but we're like, we want our own fucking pool. It sucks we have to drive to Mountain View to practice. Everyone else, Thompsonville has a pool, Mountain View has a pool, Berthoud's got their shit, like what the fuck? This is like Loveland High School, why don't we have a pool?
Right.
Like you gave the art school, Mountain View, a gigantic fucking pool, and we don't have anything. So it still wasn't big when it was done, it was in the same room.
Yeah, it wasn't a very big situation.
So not a lot of people, like space for people to sit and watch. But we eventually got it redone by my senior year. We had to do like half the season in our pool, which was really nice. But yeah, so we did get that all figured out and corrected. But it took a long time. But we were at Mountain View doing the practice, and so it's hot as shit, just like your typical indoor pool. Especially when there's people working out in it, it gets super hot and muggy and just gross. And
Very well. Do you want me to start
I come out in my jammers and I've got a towel over me. And David's like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, dude, it's fucking cold in here as I'm sweating.
Yeah.
And I was
It's
like,
so humid
just
too.
like, I wasn't as confident with my body yet. And I was like, all these people are like, whatever. So I came out sweating with a towel around trying to act like I'm cold. Then I eventually just got used to it, fucking whatever.
So was it like ever a point in like adult life where you're like, oh, I don't want people to like talk about my body?
No.
Amazing.
Especially when you become a parent, you don't give
What?
a fuck.
Well, you've talked to me about this already.
About what?
So I know that you had like a point in your like adult life where you're like, and
Oh, well,
I felt a
yeah,
certain
well.
way and I didn't like it.
Well, I
Oh,
get
definitely.
2 weeks ago,
Man.
I fucking pulled my shirt up on the internet. I don't give a fuck.
I know, we posted
Yeah.
it everywhere.
I know. Mikella starts like, why are you pulling your shirt up on the internet? I was like, 'cause it's funny. Yeah.
Nah.
Cause
I
all
get it.
these
Did she
women
really have a
want
problem with
it.
that?
She didn't have a problem with it.
Oh, I was
She was just
like,
making fun of
She was
it.
just making fun of you.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, oh, I
No,
want to make
she
sure.
didn't have a problem with it.
I gained a lot of weight to a point where it's like, there's no way I'm ever going back there again.
You
Right?
want to see a lot of weight, dude? There's a lot
No,
of weight.
you want to see a lot of weight? Let me
Right
show you a
there.
picture. Let me show you a picture. I was like literally like 60 pounds heavier than I am now, which is like a lot.
How much do you weigh now?
205, 206.
So I'm at like 270 right now, so.
But you're
I don't
like
care about
you're
your
like
muscle
7 foot tall, dude. I mean, like,
You're way
6'4".
You're 7 feet tall. You are?
Yeah.
He's the tallest man that we know. He's breaking all records at this point.
I'll show you a picture of how fat I got. I mean, it just got to a point where like I couldn't put my socks on. You know what I mean? Like I would like, and that was like a
You know,
big
even
problem.
like when I was like fat, I didn't really have that problem.
I've never had a problem with my
I
socks.
mean, I've been over 300 pounds.
Cool.
So.
Well, I guess you guys weren't as fat as John was. Okay.
Or we just,
In the
It's
nicest
alright.
way.
we
It's
also didn't
alright.
try to wear the same socks that we did in 5th grade. But, whatever.
I mean, it's socks a sock. You know what I mean?
No,
I couldn't even
that's
bend
false.
over.
I got big fucking feet, dude. I gotta fucking work my ass off to
So
find
you
socks
think
that fit
the
these things.
entire time he was like a scooch on the chunky side, he didn't change his socks up since 5th grade?
That's what it sounds like. Never had a problem putting,
How does it sound like that? How did you get to that?
to get to the point where you have a problem putting a flexible piece of fabric on.
He didn't, like, he felt like he couldn't, like, bend over and put his socks on.
Yeah,
Like, it was
yeah.
taking him, like,
Oh, it was
out
the
of
actual
breath.
bending over
No, it's
activity.
literally
Yeah,
the-
it
I thought he
wasn't
had
like
a-
I couldn't
like, so
physically
what
put
was
on
happening
socks.
was,
Okay,
It
yeah, I
was
thought
like
he's like, my
sitting
feet
down.
were so fat I couldn't
I
put the
was
socks
no,
over
no,
my foot.
no. I was sitting down, going like.
If you got finish
Did you
that,
think
then you
about,
lost.
did
No,
you
like-
think, when, like, John said it, did you think about it like that?
No.
I did.
I'm
And I was like,
gonna try and find this.
because he was
pic.
so fat that he couldn't get socks on.
No, you literally
But then at that
thought
point, you
he
stopped
had
shopping
not
at the
even
Baby Gap and
bought
get normal
socks since he shopped at Baby
The
Gap.
Baby
That was like what you were.
So This is a good like measure of how fat I
John's
got.
the one on the left. Far left. Well, far right, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's where I feel like I'm at right now.
I disagree.
I don't think so.
I disagree.
I don't think so.
So we were looking at pictures that we all took in Hawaii. I was like, dude, my face looks fat as fuck.
Do you think right now? That's what you think?
Yeah, but I also, in my brain, I can also see 18-year-old me when I weighed 180.
Yeah, you're never going to be 18-year-old again, so get that out of your head.
Well, yeah, that's not how age works.
Push it over.
Like,
Yeah.
I can be 180 again if I really wanted to. I have to join club again.
Well, like me and Travis like talking about this too. Like this year's not been like particularly great for us. Like,
Yeah, we usually stayed active. We did kickball. We did fucking a lot of weird shit just to stay moving.
I miss all those things.
Can I get a beer off you guys?
of course.
No.
They're all over here.
Fucking rough.
You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
you have a pineapple guava. You have Bud Light Platinum. You have
Take a
Corona.
Corona.
I'll do a Corona. Yeah. See if I can pop it up.
There's a whole screwdriver over here if you need it.
Yeah.
Or you can just grab my keys and pop it open.
Don't do that.
With a
Do it with a
bottle
screwdriver.
opener?
Yep.
No, with a bottle. He's like, I got a
See if I
bottle
can do
opener.
it. See if I can do it.
I'll laugh when you bend your key.
I'm also
Just
gonna
don't do it with your
lie,
car
that's
key. Don't do it with an important key that you need to use.
He doesn't even have a car key. It's one of those cars that just like starts because it exists.
That's Travis's wife.
Why don't we set
Yep.
some aside so you know?
Oh,
we'll
there'll
be
be one.
drinking
There'll
three
be
of
there'll be
these,
enough
yeah.
left.
Yeah, that's not worried.
It's a screwdriver. These kids never
I
do that.
have keys. Just grab them and open it up.
I know
Stop
I can
trying,
do this.
babe.
I know I
Stop
can do
trying.
this.
Okay.
Just so you know, it's a twist off.
That would be
It
so
is.
funny if it was.
Isn't it not? Oh,
It
it's
is.
I
not.
heard it pop a little bit.
Just grab my keys.
Coronas are not twist offs.
See my
next,
finger?
They're next to Bear's
see my-
collar somewhere in there.
Let me
Just
see it.
grab them. It's not a twist off, sweet.
How are you doing this? Dude! Are you kidding me?
It's all about the angle of the dangle, man.
Or you had a bigger lever on your.
I mean, angles, dangles.
I mean, do you see?
Now's not the time to be an engineer. Did you cut yourself? Are you okay?
I mean, do you see where I
Did you get a
tried?
boo boo?
Wait,
Yeah, I did see it.
Hello Kitty Band-Aid?
Well, it's kind of ridiculous how many times, like, I'll be sitting at the table and then I'm just, like, hearing, like, fuck, like, constantly. And, like, one day, fuck, are you okay?
Who,
yeah,
me?
I'm okay, but, like, I just, like, I fucked it up. And then, like, 10 minutes later, fuck, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I just, like, you know, I fucked it up. Like, it's pretty impressive. And it happens less when we're drinking. It happens way more when we're sober, and I'm very concerned.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if you have like vertigo or like what the fuck is going
I
on,
mean,
but like,
yeah, okay.
And sober problems.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. I know because I'm like, you don't have band-aids or rubbing alcohol at your house, so I'm very concerned about the amount of times you bleed. You're bleeding.
I'm not bleeding. I just have marks
Do
on my
you
hand.
bleed? It's a very like drug scenario there.
No, one time John got like a bloody nose, so I just put a tampon in there because he doesn't
No,
have
you
anything.
didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
What is
did.
it with She's the Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, like that's what you do when you get bloody noses.
Yeah, I just
If
put
you're-
I
if
just
you're
threw a
gnarly-
tampon
I mean,
up
is
there.
that not the best thing that can
No, it's
soak up
perfect.
Okay,
blood?
yeah, so I don't know why you're like, no, she didn't. Don't be embarrassed about
When
it. Yeah, I
you do
did.
that, though?
You always cut them in half, and you're just done. You're good.
I mean, this one time when you were really drunk, I just
they have
threw a
little
tampon
mini
up your nose because you got a bloody nose.
Yeah.
It's not embarrassing.
That
it's
was
just
at
like,
that was at the wrestling jam. Like in
Fair
wrestling,
enough.
bloody
I'm
noses
Sure, I'm sure you did.
were-
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
were a thing, and like that's just what you do. Is you put them in there.
You know what?
Yeah.
Like
They're inexpensive.
they're absorbent.
they're not
It's just a
inexpensive.
pressed cotton
That's not
swab,
fucking
is all
true
it
at all. If you're not having a period and so you just have a store of tampons because maybe you get a bloody nose once a month,
I'm
then they're
not
not
saying-
expensive. But if you're using them constantly, spending $5 on a box of tampons every month or $10 on a box
I
of
know,
tampons
but,
every
like,
month is like insanely
I
expensive.
get you, but like overall, when you have a bloody nose, they're inexpensive. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Not-
good comeback. I also wrote that one through.
Yeah. Like all the extra shit, like to like pay to live. I mean, we have glasses.
It's hot here.
I don't go to the eye doctor anymore because I don't have eye insurance. Yeah, obviously. What am I gonna spend? Like all this money?
No, you get it. You spend $20 to start it. You do your thing. You cancel it. Call it a day.
Yeah, that's called insurance. And yeah, no, I can't. Maybe now I can.
I actually need to go real bad on my glasses are old these days, so I need to real bad.
So I found my glasses the other day and had her try them on. She's like, no difference.
No, I was like, there's barely a difference.
Yeah.
But also, how
Mine'll
dated
probably
are
be
your
the same way.
glasses?
So dated.
Yeah, Travis
right?
is actually also the same way.
Try mine on. They're not.
I'm wearing
So-
my contacts.
But do you wear them all the time?
This is not my. I'm gonna vomit.
Let me try.
Okay, but hold on.
They're not. What do you mean you're gonna vomit?
They're not that bad, but it does give me like
You have
obviously it's more
contacts in
magnified,
already, though.
right?
You have contacts
So
in
they're
already.
not bad because they have contacts in already. So like this is like okay.
I'll tell you what the prescription is after.
If you put my like glasses on, you would be like, oh my god. And actually, yeah, because like I can't legally drive without my glasses.
What do you know your numbers?
It's a
No.
little something.
You think I just keep the
there's-
paperwork
It's more of
on
a
now?
like.
No, I
My
know my
brain's trying to
numbers.
catch up to
I don't know
what's
my numbers.
you know.
I've worn glasses since like I was
So
what,
I
7
have
years
glasses
old.
are basically you can see fine. You can see fine.
Yeah, like I
Honestly,
can see right now.
I know. So that's kind of what like my mentality turned into. I had glasses.
They're dirty and scratched, but
And
These just, I've bowled with these ones on. That's a hoot.
Yep.
Man, this
Yeah.
room looks so much bigger than it is.
You can see fine, but you are like a little dated too.
yeah, but
You're just stressing yourself out. Like you're.
but I hate like looking through it too at the same time because it like it honestly like makes
Take a
me
scooch
sick.
at those because I don't
it makes
know
me
if
sick.
I don't
Like-
know if you're worse off than I am, but like that's
yeah.
I
It's
can't even
a
do it. I can't. let me
pretty
try
good
one. Let me try
comparison.
one.
So I've bowled with those on.
It's a pretty good comparison.
Oh my! This is like the glasses they give you at the
I can see
festival to
shit.
like look at shit like it's all
Yeah,
crazy.
this is not gonna do shit for me.
Oh man!
It's the same. Like it looks like I'm looking through like a
Yeah.
smoky room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dorothy likes to touch them.
I love glasses.
So yeah, so my left is a 0.
I have no idea what mine is.
And my right's a
anymore.
-0.5.
So I feel like I can see pretty fucking good, and like that's why I don't want to wear glasses because of it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
These just made everything just a little bit clearer.
yeah. And
So I
then
can
it's
take
like
it off. I can read that.
for
But
sure.
like it's a little fuzzy. I can read it out just fine. But I put these on, it's crystal fucking clear.
Let me try. Let me see how much. Because I think like I saw a little bit more. And you might be the same fucking. Okay, yeah. Yeah, very much clearer.
So you guys are pretty similar on your stuff.
But at the same time, I can read it without, right? And
I
that's
can
what-
read it without. I can
That's
function without.
that's what it turned into me for me, anyways. To say,
This
hey,
one's a -735,
yeah.
and this one's a -450.
Okay, yeah.
Mine's almost there.
You know the reason I got it? Because I was going to college and I was like, hey, I need to read from the back of the classroom because I can't read the fucking thing on the, whatever the fuck they're
Right.
presenting. And then it turned into, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to the front of class and let's learn. You know what I mean? And, yeah.
So they were trying to get me to do, like, do you want to do contacts or glasses? I was like, I don't feel like putting one
I
contact
just
in.
didn't want to pay for it.
Well, you're not worried about the glasses scenario whatsoever, and
No,
like
I wear,
I
like
like
before
having
this, I wear
glasses
sunglasses
and
everywhere.
contacts. 'Cause I like wearing sunglasses and not having a prescription.
well, mine are bad enough that like my
I like on days that I can put like my glasses back on and it's fine.
It's it sucks, like, if I would have done contacts, the only places that I could have kept wearing my sunglasses. But I just got the transitional lenses, so when I'm outside, they darken up anyways.
What are those? The transitional lens?
So when the UV hits these, they go black.
When you go outside.
Oh!
The thing that sucks is they transition very slow, which doesn't really matter
especially when
outside.
it's cold.
Bring me
Right.
back the beer.
When it's cold,
The part that
they get
sucks.
gnarly
The
slow.
part that sucks is going from outside to inside because they stay tinted for quite a while.
Yeah, and when it's cold, it's worse.
Yeah.
So like
So
that's why
that's
mine
like-
are.
All the 9 nights. in
Those are
there
your
slow
glasses and sunglasses at the same time.
Essentially, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But I mean, it's not polarized. But
So
Oh,
I can't
Did you
wear
get 'em
contacts.
polarized?
I don't know if you can get them polarized.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, especially
Yep.
with like.
I also wasn't like into spending a ton of money on these. Either.
Right. Especially like, when you're not like terrible. Like if you did break them, you're like it's like you could survive. Whereas like I have to have them. Like
The day we went snorkeling out and we did like a snorkeling boat trip, I just didn't put them on that morning. And within like 20 minutes, I adapted and everything was fine. I saw it fine.
yeah, like I can't wear contacts. My astigmatism is too terrible. I'd have to have hard ones that cost $600 a pair.
That just sounds uncomfortable. as
So they're
Like
keyed and
Buddha
weighted.
belly.
So like when you put it in your eye, it weights itself. And since I'm so different each eye to eye, I have to make sure it's left and right for sure.
shit.
The other thing is too is I can't have LASIK.
Guess, yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm fucked.
At a gas station easily. What's your plan?
You alright?
Yeah, with your hard contacts.
So contacts for me is $600 per pair.
600.
So did you hear his prescription?
I can't have soft ones.
He's like -7 in one eye, -4.
And
But what does that matter? Like, it should be the same. Like,
No, so-
I
price,
missed a
right?
call, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you're fine.
His vision's so bad
So,
with like normal lenses.
So like my vision's not bad if I couldn't have that. The problem is the astigmatism is too bad to have regular contacts. So it has to be keyed and weighted and like everything on that left side. Right side's
600
not.
for per pair though.
It's $600 per pair. For hard ones, you have to have hard ones.
But
So they're actual like glass.
so when you
scenario.
when you put a hard pair in, how long does that last?
Forever. Honestly,
What
it's
do you mean forever? No
So, like-
way.
Picture just having a piece of lens on your.
so yeah, it's a piece of glass on your eyeball.
So
like-
it's basically glasses that you're
But
putting on your
but the
eyeballs,
problem
and
is
then
if
bring
you
them
lose
out
one,
and
you're
done,
fucked,
and-
and you're paying over $600.
It's not like the soft filmic ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
they're
what I was thinking. Like,
They're not comfortable.
so from what I've seen with like contact people, like they have like repetitive, like it's like an order.
It's
that
dailies,
they have. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
quarterlies or whatever. You can do those things. I can't have that. Mine are like permanent ones, and they're thick.
Very
Damn.
uncomfortable.
So if I was doing that, plus I had a LASIK consultation in September.
How do those feel?
I can't have LASIK either.
How do those feel though? Like on your eyes?
They just feel like you're touching it all the time.
So you feel it, like no matter what, you feel those
Yeah.
things on your eyes.
They don't just go away.
It is, yeah,
So like I have to wear glasses.
yeah.
So like again, no, I can't do LASIK. Like the best case scenario for me is I spend because I try to do the LASIK scenario and they're like you can't do it because my cornea is too thin, so I can't laser it off. So the best case scenario for me is if I wanted to have no glasses, if it works, it's not a guarantee, is that like basically you're doing, it's kind of like cataracts where they like change the lens scenario.
Yeah.
But like literally be adding a lens in my eyeball and then LASIK on top and a permanent contact on top of it, which they like weld to it basically.
Really?
And there's no guarantee that I won't have glasses. And it costs $12,000.
Sounds fun.
And I was all, nah. Like I'm willing to spend like 2 to 3, but like $10,000 is a lot of money, and like for not a guarantee to not have
Yeah.
glasses. So, which is a real bummer because I have the money to spend on it. My HSA has the money for it. Where I'm like, I wanted LASIK. I've wanted it like real bad for a while, but I literally cannot.
Really?
It's literally my cornea is too thin.
Fuck. So they can't like carve around the side in a way.
So yeah, and that's the thing.
You know,
It's a both.
yeah.
Like it would be the RPK and the fucking lens inside. It's not even. It's just not even an option for me.
Fuck, man.
We'll just wait in 10 or 20 years. I'll have little like electronic eyeballs.
Right?
Pop yours out. And
And
suck
that's
that
a
in.
very. It's a very.
Like
I'm
Thor.
with them. I'm with them.
Yeah, but in
Wouldn't that
20
be
years,
awesome?
I'm not gonna. I'm, not gonna give a shit about that.
Yeah, but then you can have electronic eyeballs. It'll probably have like fucking.
I mean, if you have the first electronic eyeballs, I'd be jealous. I really would.
Pretty sure they're like smart eyeballs too. So you like stream straight from your eyeball.
You
I've
press
never
it
done.
more, and then it would like turn to computer. Imagine it was like computerized too, right? You know, this little
That'd be a
computerized
crazy-
eyeball, and then like I want to see what I want to see, and then it just like brings up like you know, front vision, whatever the fuck.
Built-in VR.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Exactly. That's where I was going. Couldn't fucking put
Right.
it to words.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah.
It's, I
Well,
mean,
the
if that
picture-
comes
that
down
point
to
of
it,
view-
20 years, like that'd be fucking dope. But right now, I'm really tired of glasses. I've been wearing it for fucking 20 years, or 30 years almost at this point. I'm fucking over it.
That point of view would be crazy for a stream.
Yeah.
But not just like you can have like a GoPro like on your forehead.
Oh yeah,
But like just straight eye vision, so like on your
Yeah.
stream,
that
people
would
are, like,
be pretty
inside
fucking
your body.
cool.
So when you look down
So
at your
you-
keyboard, people are like seeing what you're seeing.
Have you seen like the 0.5 view of like what Apple has? You have this. You have the camera that can do it, right? So imagine that view, right? Have you seen it?
You can like zoom in and out, it'd be fucking rad.
So like
Where
this.
you got like built-in binoculars, you can see like fucking 1,000
Like
yards
yeah,
away.
like
Boom.
So like this. So like look around with that. So imagine it being that, right?
Oh, so okay, I got you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like imagine like looking
Yeah, this
around.
would be like the view
Yeah.
for the street.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like slightly fisheye,
yes,
but in a normal
exactly.
way.
Yeah, imagine. Imagine that.
I mean, again, I'd probably be down.
Pretty dope, right?
I'd be down for that situation like, again, like in like 30 years, but like. But you know, like right now, it's like if I could just have LASIK, it would be fucking great.
You just wait till 2077. It'll be available.
Yeah, when I'm fucking dead, it's fine.
No.
Well, maybe.
I'll be 90 years old, 91 years old in 2077.
You'll be alive.
Damn, how'd you fuck man, good for you. Good math.
77, I'll be whatever the math is.
I think we
You were
made
born in
it. Same
94.
boat. Same boat.
77?
I'll probably be
No.
So take my number and minus 8.
81.
No, 91.
You're 8 years younger than him?
83.
What year were you born?
Yeah? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It's
What?
83.
What year were you born?
He's born in 94.
90.
I'm only 26.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So like,
But it's okay, I'm not the youngest one in the group. Seth's the baby. So it's fine.
yeah, but like 2 months.
Yeah. Every time I bring it up, he always gets like, for 2 fucking months!
I guess I'll never down.
Yeah, like, again, that's the party of the boys, so. No thing.
You can't.
You wish you could hang.
I can, and I have. And you know that.
Like twice.
Well, I can't now, because shit's different. but when I got into your schedule, I could hang.
I agree, you could.
Bro? You're married now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
How long you guys been married?
Almost 2 years.
2 years? Nice.
Two-
You live
2
in
years in
here,
March.
here in Colorado?
Yeah, I was like 5 minutes away.
Oh, nice.
Like 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
2 minutes away.
It's like a mile.
A city block.
Oh, yeah.
Very close.
Has she ever came into any of these? Or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's her right there.
It's her right there. The nanny? Is that
No,
what she
she
said?
mentioned a
No.
baby.
Oh, you guys got a kid?
We do.
Congratulations, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. She's
Oh.
almost, she's on her way to 2.
All the way to 2? She's a girl? Nice.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's good.
Is it?
Yeah. She's a good baby.
Yeah?
She's rad.
Man, that's crazy.
And she's dope. They've all met her. She's dope. She's dope. My wife's dope. I got very lucky.
Yeah. You and McKellar got
Hell
like,
yeah.
lucky
I
on
can tell.
each of you.
Yeah, so when me and Michaela met and we talked for about a month, and then we
Yeah.
started like officially dating for a month, and then we got pregnant.
Hey.
So
it
2 months into knowing
happens.
each other, we got pregnant, and so yeah, we took the express.
Expressway. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So, but with how it all wound out, yeah, we both got very lucky that we're both pretty dope.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, McKellar's dope, he's dope, and it worked out.
That's
So,
awesome, man.
yeah.
For sure.
could have been
Hell yeah.
much worse.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
You know, like, I've been thinking about, like, man, when am I going to have a kid? When's it going to happen? And how, explain like how that happened. Like how did that like?
Oh, so I never had to talk with you. Okay, so there's a dude and a chick.
No, I mean like, come on.
No, again, they didn't.
You know,
there was no talking about it. It just fucking
Just
happened.
happened. We did not plan that out. Sorry, what was the question?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was no plan for this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always thinking about it. You know, it's always in the back of my head. Like, yeah, I want to have a kid, love to have a kid, but at the same time, am I ready to have a kid? Type of thing.
Never.
You know what I mean? Like,
Never.
So
Never.
it's yeah.
Yeah, you're never ready to have a kid. Period. No matter what fucking people or books say.
But at the same time, like, so I've had fear about like, man, I'm not gonna be like good enough or whatever, and so like, is there something that kind of takes over that you're like, but I ain't need it? I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, no, so, like, straight up, you just gotta get the fuck over that. Because everyone's gonna have that, but you're never gonna be ready, ever, because nothing can prep you for raising another human.
Right.
Except raising a human.
So what was your like first impressions of what's going on right now? Like of like your human that you're raising. Like what is the thing that you could like give us to say, hey, this is what you need to know?
Babies are simple as shit. Like especially when they're that young, your only job is to keep them alive, which is super easy. They eat and they poop and they sleep. And they occasionally try to commit suicide. You just have to prevent that. That's what it is. Like, that's why you have like covers for outlets. Like, they don't know that that's not great for your body, so they'll
just try to
they play with everything
or whatever.
They don't understand how a sharp corner can go through your brain pretty easy as a baby. There's skulls and pieces still. Like, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
So you have to feed them, change them, and then just keep them from offing themselves.
Okay.
That's legit what it is. Give them attention.
Now, when they turn to where she's getting, where they're a toddler, and when they can start moving, the game fucking changes.
Okay, then what happens?
Then that's when you baby-proof everything. Like, you keep things away from the edge of the counters, so they can start to reach up and grab shit. You gotta monitor them a little bit more.
Okay.
As a baby, you feed them whenever they sleep. It's like a puppy. They sleep so much that you've got a decent amount of time to like be normal. So they start getting into toddler, they start understanding concepts, they start learning words, they start moving around and running and being fearless and jumping off of shit. And we were, without like any sort of like forcing her to do it, she was jumping into the pool.
No way.
She could not touch the bottom.
Of course not. Yeah.
So.
Well, comes
that's
from the parents having no fear.
Yeah, I was like, just jump.
And that's the kind of thing is you don't have fear on that situation. Michaela doesn't
especially like in the pool. I don't fear anything in the pool. Like,
beer down.
Like, I'm not worried about it.
I'm sorry, I can.
You're good. Don't use paper towels. I got a towel.
Where they at?
There's one on the floor. That blue one.
Yeah, so she jumps in the pool. I catch her underwater. She goes fully under, comes up, whatever. Like, it wasn't like crazy, but like in Hawaii, she went from never really being like, even baths, washing her hair sucked because she hated being like underwater. But now I'm sure it's not going to be an issue.
Right, just toss it back over in that corner. You're good.
Because going underwater, she progressed to the point when we got there, she understand the fact that don't suck in water. By like the second day, she's like, okay, I need to close my mouth and not breathe in while I'm underwater. Just hold my breath.
It's a very, babies and children seem like this huge problem.
People overplay it.
It's not a problem.
So
it's more of like an inevitable. It's like inevitable, right?
Right.
So because it's gonna happen, and like I want it to happen, right? But it's like, how do you?
Well, and you're still scared in the situation because you don't.
Because I don't think I'm gonna be a good dad, type of thing. Like it's kind of one of those things. Like you always like step back and like look at yourself, like man, fuck. What if this happens, and
Right.
what do I do?
Well, and that's a big question. Like growing up and like doing the thing anyways. It's like learning what you can and can't do, and like
the
all
biggest
those
thing
things.
you'll have to learn to be good with, which I'm still working on, is patience.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because they can't talk. They can't. And
Right.
she's starting to understand words and understand when you tell her to do things that she'll do it.
Yeah.
But still, there's other times where she's still a toddler. She doesn't give a fuck about what's happening. She wants to do her thing. So, and I say it to her all the time. Like, I'm lucky that I have Michaela, who she's an outstanding mother.
Yeah.
So what she does for a job, she's a private nanny. She essentially gets paid to be a mom. That's how good she is at it. And she's really good. And that's part of why I think Dorothy is such a good kid. Is because she's got Michaela.
Also, it helps our situation that I am a nanny and kid whisperer.
There it is.
Yeah, so
There's a latency, by the way, John. So
Yeah.
that's about a minute behind.
So
Kid
she was
whisperer,
typing.
though.
She was
Kid
typing.
whisperer.
She was
She
typing.
was
it-
typing that before I
Nice.
even said it.
Yeah.
But no,
Nice.
seriously, she's the kid. When I don't think I've ever seen it happen, but when she goes to a park, takes Dorothy out, and like kids will just randomly come up to her and start sharing their life story, and they don't know who she is.
So she has that like energy, right? So she's got it like.
Kids
got
just
that.
love her.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
You
wish
know,
you were here.
No, and Michaela is fucking
Yeah.
rad. Like I was glad that during the summer we like got her on the podcast and like shit. Like she's
Yeah.
fucking rad as fuck.
Yeah.
And you know that is one of those things, and like part of that comes down to is again like part of the reason why she is the way she is with her own child is she's not afraid of it. She knows
Right.
she's been a part of the situation before, and like those
Sure.
kind of things where like it makes it a little bit easier when you do have your own kid because you've already experienced these things,
Sure. Yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff. But like at the same time, for any new parent to be or whatever, is to learn to not be afraid. They're not going to. They're going to try to do the thing, kill themselves, all this shit. They don't know that that's what's happening. So the idea is like you just have to like know like the boundaries of like what is going to hurt them, what's not. When they're running around at fucking a year and a half, they're gonna eat shit
Yeah.
and smash their head into a fucking wall. And you're like, as a new parent that's actually worried about it, you'd be like, whoa!
But the best thing to do when they do that is you just look at them. Obviously, make sure they're okay.
Yeah,
But as soon as you like quickly realize they're okay, you laugh.
yeah. You make it. You don't.
Because they look at you for a reaction. Just like when you're a kid,
Yeah.
you don't know that it's as bad as it is until somebody
Right.
points out.
Right,
unless you
right.
like see that scab on your knee,
Yeah.
or
And
until
that's,
somebody else points out and starts
yeah.
freaking out. Then you start freaking out. So they look at you immediately, like, "Fuck, am I okay?"
Right.
And as soon as you realize they are, you just laugh. Like half the time, she'll take a nasty spill. I'll just laugh at her, and she'll just laugh and get up and keep doing
Yeah.
her thing.
They don't
Where
care.
some parents be like, "Are you? Oh no, are you okay? Whatever." And they start freaking out because they think they're hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so the idea is like let them if they're
The
hurt,
the
let
mental-
them actually react to it versus like you react when they've reacted.
And
done
really,
it.
the
And
mentality I
yeah.
think you need to have is don't think about it like you're raising a baby. You're raising an adult. Like, don't think of him as this little fragile thing.
So I think of it as like
Like
I don't
you're a
know
grown-ass
how to do it.
person
I've been trying to
figuring it out.
raise a dog and it's gone terribly wrong, right? So
Well, the barrier
I'm,
there
like,
is you
scared
can't
of,
teach a dog English. So that's like the biggest difference. Is that like
Yeah.
Dorothy's starting to pick up words, she can understand it. Dogs to a certain like extent can start
and
recognizing phrases
maybe
and
it's the
whatever.
breed I have. I don't know, and I don't know.
Well, and the thing is like you kind of learn it. Use a dog as a learning process too.
Yeah,
And like we've talked about like you and
yeah.
Tucker and all this shit.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
Be a good teacher. I teach Dorothy to do dangerous things that are more advanced so she can do it safely.
yeah. So the idea is like the pet scenario is very much like they'll still survive without you. Your pet will for sure. So like the idea is you teach you learn how to train something and do something with that.
Yeah.
And
Instead
so
of
like
taking them and sheltering from something that's bad, you just teach them how to do it safely and correctly, so they can advance on to different things instead of waiting until they're 4 to teach them how to do some pretty basic shit.
Yeah, well, that sucks because
All
that's
parents-
literally what has happened with my dog right now. Like I've literally sheltered him, and like I've been scared because he like doesn't know how to do things, and it turns into this like thing where, fuck, if I failed this, what happens if I have a kid and then
Well, but just like
you know.
anything when you're learning, most people you learn from failure. It's the best way to do it.
That's-
It's like
yeah.
when I was teaching my puppy that I don't have anymore, but when we were working on stairs, the first time she went down, she ate shit, and I let her tumble all the way down. I'm not gonna one, you're gonna be fine. Just like a baby, they're resilient as fuck. Everything's still kind of bendy and not stable, so when it comes to falling or doing whatever, it's fine. They'll be okay.
Yeah, but another piece too is like, now that I have this dog that like doesn't like kids, what if I bring my own kid back into the situation?
You'd actually be surprised at dogs. They're
Dogs are
usually-
very, very interesting with kids.
Yeah.
Just like they can tell when there's a puppy around, completely different dog. But there's also a difference between babies. It's like if you had your dog, you brought a baby home, it's not the same as bringing like a
If
toddler.
I bring my
adopted.
oh man.
If
They-
you,
they-
bring,
they
if you
become
brought a
much
baby
more
home,
protective.
yeah, they can tell it is a newborn baby. Where if you adopted
but
like
if
a
it's
5-year-old,
not like I would literally kill my dog like right there on the fucking spot. You know what I mean?
You learn that, but like honestly, your dog will probably be okay in this situation.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
and then just on
I'm
the-
scared of that, dude.
And then
I'm
just from the-
super scared of that.
But and that's when you can judge it when that happens. It's also one of those things where it's
But
like,
it
and that's
also-
why I don't want like.
But also on that side with just like
Ah.
specifically that dog situation, like I'm very when I'm there with the dog, you have to do the whole alpha fucking thing. You can't be if you bring a baby home and the dog can tell that you're kind of uneasy about it. They're not gonna immediately think that you're uneasy because of how they're gonna react. They're gonna think you're uneasy because of what you're holding.
Do you ever?
They're gonna think that's why you're freaking out, so they're gonna freak out.
You have no idea how many times I've tried the alpha thing on this guy, and he is just like, "I'm your brother."
That doesn't work with dogs.
well, and that's the thing too. Is like
Well, you know what
even
I mean?
like when we
And
like
when I hit him, when I've hit him, which I don't like doing ever, in my
Right.
you know what I mean? Like he'll retaliate to a point where I'll hit him enough, like I'll fuck him up, and then like throw him up in his cage, and he'll be like.
So hitting
the whole way up to the cage, and then I'll leave him there forever. But you know what? I don't know how to break
So the
this,
thing with
dude.
like hitting dogs don't understand hitting.
Yeah, but they.
It's like
God.
with my dog when she started getting a little shitty when she was like an older puppy. Like I got it from the movie, which is funny that it fucking worked. But if you remember, what was the movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. where he's running the Iditarod?
Oh,
I can't remember.
Rush or
It's something, but
it's
there's
like,
he has a similar problem where the lead dog, who is the alpha of his little pack, they're having their little quarrel where they gotta figure it out, and they make fun of it in the movie where and it's an old folklore where you have to bite the dog's ear. Dogs don't. When dogs fight, when two alphas fight, they're not sitting there slapping the shit out of each other.
Do you know what I've done with him? I've literally rolled him on the ground, grabbed him on like, boom, boom, like squeezed the fuck out of him, like you are mine, like you were fucking mine.
What's up,
like,
Scotty?
this is not happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the next thing that happens, like, next you know, he turns into my brother again, and so there's not the connection there, and I don't know how to fucking make it happen, and I'm scared to like bring another person in
Well,
and like
It's
have
like
that.
the moment that I had with my puppy, and she was a pit bull, so I had to take the kind of connection where hopefully she's not going to be that kind of aggressive dog, because some pit bulls, a lot of it's training, some of them just have that fucking thing in them where they just hate shit and it's annoying. But
It's kids with him.
when she
That's-
started
that's
getting-
what scares me.
when
You
she
know what I
started
mean?
getting lippy and fucking weird about it, I literally acted like a dog. I got down on all fours and we fucking went at it, and
Done
it
the
got to
same
me,
thing. I've done the same
pinning her
thing.
down like a dog, and I bit her fucking ear
done
until
this.
she screamed.
I've done
Well,
the same thing, bro.
You know,
Done
like
the same thing, man.
you see how I am with your dog,
Yeah.
and you know, like when
So
I
he
first
looks at me different, and I don't know what it is, and it, like
you're good,
so
right?
what happens is like everybody else comes in and somehow they have like this control over him, but somehow I have not been able to do that with him, and I don't know why. It kind of like pisses me off, like
Well, and that's
deep in my core, like it pisses me off.
you know I
You know
talked
what
to you
I mean?
about like
And-
you know like wearing him the fuck out and like making him like understand like when he's like being a problem. And I've done it like
So
you know
what up-
around
what up-
trying to
what-
like like I'd never try to like overshadow who you
Yeah.
are with your dog.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to like ever do that.
And it was there's a lot that's in the past that I've had to like.
Right. Well, and sometimes it
handle.
comes down to is like again, like when you're coming to me, like you're saying this, I don't know how to deal with it. It's much of he knows that you don't. Right.
So what do I do?
So the idea is you just have to fake it till you make it.
So I've done it. So like this is what I'm starting to do. Right. I'm like taking him on a walk every night. Right. Every time I come home, I do workout no matter what. Hey, we're going on a walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he comes back in like, thank you. He like thanks me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is awesome, right? That's good. Okay, let's get some of that energy out. You know what I mean? I know you've been waiting to fucking feel that.
We've talked about like too, like the like
yeah.
you know the difference in like our cardio scenarios. Like
yeah.
you know, it's like you might want to start like just fucking making him fucking like drag you around.
Yeah.
And like wearing him the fuck out and like knowing that like you're starting to be good at the end of that time frame.
Yeah.
Your self-confidence. Dogs are without sinning. Once he believes you're confident in yourself, he will respect you more.
That's what I was gonna say. Like when
And
you're
and that's a good point.
Yep.
And you know what? Like that is one of those things that I've been struggling with a lot. And there's like this. There's like, hey, you know what? I'm an alpha, but at the same time, I like give in way too
Right.
easy,
It's very much
right?
like
and
be that person.
Yeah.
Like,
So
even,
it's
if,
the-
even
yeah,
if you're not,
yeah.
fake it. Make them like believe it,
Yeah,
even if you
yeah.
aren't that way.
Yeah.
Like make them like understand.
But see, it gets to the point where you can't fake it. Like you
Right.
can't just act like the alpha. You've got that's just how their brains work.
Yeah,
You've
and,
gotta
and,
be
and
it
as soon as
all
I
the
like
time.
let go of that alpha mentality, hey, it's okay, because usually that's what I do. It's like, hey, come here, and I always pet him again, and then next thing you know, it's like, well, you're my brother, motherfucker, you know, type of thing. So
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
obviously gotta show your like you know your pets and people affection and all that kind of shit. But as soon as you're like, Urch, we're not doing this situation regardless. Of
I've just done it wrong. Like so.
Well, it's not. It's
I'll
not
give-
wrong, and you're learning. You're
I'll,
learning.
give, I'll give the
situation.
backstory of this whole fucking situation, right? This dog came into my life with my ex-fiance, right? I was gonna get married, right? Proposed to this girl. And she's like, let's get a dog. Okay, cool. We get Tucker. We go get him as a 6-week-old minute, like the tiniest thing I could have ever held in my life. And it turned into a fucking war zone of basically me and my ex just fighting all the time, and his first dog experience on top of that being an attack from a border collie. Like the border collie like ripped his face off, and the next thing I know, he's just like screaming like dude, it was the most like uncanny type of like shit that you could ever fucking imagine for your dog to go through for their first fucking, you know, like experience with any other dogs and any other humans in their life, right? And I think it turned into this thing when he like became an adolescent where he like looked at everybody else that was coming in besides the people that he knew. He's like, I hate you, like, and it turned into this like and like the same thing happened with kids, the same thing happened with everything else, and I'm like sitting here trying to like figure out how the fuck do I deal with this. And oh man, like, you know, like I tried so hard to like get him to be like, okay, it's okay, it's all right. And then like the next thing I knew, like I took him out to like the dog parks, like, all right, let's socialize. We need to socialize. We have to socialize. You know, like, let's get out. Like, the first time we were out there, he stood right between my legs. That's all he would do, right? And I'd go with him day after day after day, right? And then his circle would get a little bit bigger, and then he would start realizing, like, who was there, right? And, like, that was, like, me trying to, like, train or, like, socialize him, and, like, it turned into, like, dude, Morgan, you gotta get the fuck out of my life. You know what I mean? And that's I think what has like helped, right? Because with me and Morgan, like always yelling, always like screaming at each other in the face was a horrible upbringing for him. And I feel bad, and like I feel bad that like I put him through that, and and that he went through it, because like no, dude, my last relationship was the fucking worst. It was the
Right.
worst. You know what I mean? And I think it has impacts on
It does.
who he is today. You know, and
It doesn't mean just picture a kid going through that traumatic kind of shit. They're gonna
Yeah.
have issues for a while.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's just something you've got to kind of.
And I don't know
Deal
how to
with.
do it, right? So I've been moving all around for so many fucking years, and like, you know, I put it on myself, right? I have this heavy fucking weight of like who he is based on my actions, based on whatever the fuck happened, you know, in my past life, and I'm trying to mitigate it, but like, man, he's who he is because of that. So.
Well, and that's one of those things again. Just like, you know, as you know, it comes the same way of like as a parent with a teenager, where they've experienced all these things, and now they're trying to like learn their own shit and that kind of stuff. And when you're obviously like the average like teenager is gonna be very combative of the situation. They want to be grown. Every teenager, we've all experienced it. As a fucking high school student, I'm grown. I don't need your shit no more. Like, that's just kind of how we are. That's how people, that's how shit works that way. So it very much works like, how do you, like, change that mentality and, like, what it is? Like, there's still plenty of people that are, like, very good with their parents, like, during that time because, like, their parents don't take it. Like, I was not good with my parents at all when I was a teenager. And I still struggle with it, like, all the time. Like, and it's much like, you'll understand me in fucking 10 years. Why don't you help me understand you now versus then? Like, you know, like, well, 10 years from now, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But you're just like, help me understand you now and the reason why you're doing this versus, I'm still the fucking champion of this fucking house. I pay for the shit.
Right.
And it works the same way with dogs where it's like, instead of being like, well, I'm the master, do what I want you to do, it's help them understand that, yes, I love you, all these things, but I also need you to do these things to help you do what you need to do.
That's the gray area.
It's a hard part.
Figure out with him, you know what I mean? Like, he's always like one of those dogs. Is like
right. It's a hard thing, and like, you know, like, much of it is, again, he's rambunctious.
You've seen him.
He likes to fucking like be rowdy and do his thing. So the idea is, you're gonna have to put some work in on wearing him out and making things much like the baby situation.
Yeah.
When they're fucking like being like crabby and like rowdy and they want to be that way, that's when you hit like, okay, now I need to wear you the fuck out. I need you like to make sure.
And that's why I've like slotted off time. Like, we're going for a walk every night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
And then
like when we get back, he's like, "Thank you." It's almost like a thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
And very much
You
is
know,
like
it's
he
like,
wants to be
okay,
out there.
all
He
right,
wants to be
all
a
right.
wild boy,
Yeah.
and that also comes like, you're kind of a wild boy too.
I know.
So it
and
happens-
it like feeds off
Yep.
probably what I fucking do.
Exactly.
You know what I
So
mean?
the idea is
Like,
that you understand that like he's gonna be a wild boy, so you need to like make sure he is worn the fuck out.
I just don't like want that to like fucking fall over into maybe you know, a kid that comes in my
Well,
life.
and that comes
Can
the
I have
time.
one of these?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
go
course.
ahead.
Thanks, man. Which one?
Whatever you want.
What is this?
Bud Light Platinum.
I remember these things.
I actually like Bud Light Platinums. They're good.
I might have had one in a while.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Tear it up.
Yeah, I mean, so that's very heavy on mine.
So yeah, it's one of those things like, you know, I'm like, you know, obviously your dog loves me. Like, you were very rare the first time I met you. Like I don't fucking know. And then you're like, what? And I have that with animals too. And it's
So
just
you
like,
and I are very much okay with dogs.
yeah.
You, me, and Seth. If there's any dogs anywhere wherever we go, we're fine.
Oh yeah, they
They
love
it.
us.
Yeah.
So what happened before any of this, before we came to Colorado, whatever, right? So Tucker would just, anyone he met new, it would just be like a row, 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 row.
Oh, what's up,
You know,
Alyssa?
like,
How you
hey,
doing,
you.
baby?
So
I was reminded today that like I have Milo's watch from like the last time.
That was a good one.
Who's that? Who is this?
That's my friend Alyssa. She's fucking rad.
Nice.
She's alright. Never met her.
Me either. She sounds tight.
She's pretty rad.
What up, Alyssa?
But yeah, it comes down to like again, like you have to like make sure like the animal knows what it is and like what you want them from them, and like you can't run them a crazy scenario.
Which I try not to, right? It's a big thing with what's going on.
Wait, what?
What?
Come again.
Come again.
Are you disputing the fact that you're rad or what? Like what are you coming again here?
Hero! You're hero. Yeah. Well.
No, so I didn't think about this the last time you were here because you were here a couple weeks ago. When you were here in May with Erica and Wade and Milo left his watch here.
What?
And so I still have
Yeah.
Milo's watch. What's up?
No. You're
Nothing,
talking
dude. What's up with you?
No starting to.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I know.
I was just asking.
You mentioned Milo.
Yeah.
Confused.
I have his watch that he left here in May.
Send help.
Send help.
It's not the right place to ask for help. I was stranded on an island. I asked them for help and they told me to fuck off.
Yeah, well, fuck you specifically on that one.
That sucks, man. I feel for you.
Yeah, look how sun-kissed this motherfucker is.
Yeah, why are you so tan? Give me some.
So I was stranded,
God damn it.
bro.
Which watch?
It's some Timex bullshit. It's over here. It beeps every once in a while.
They beep on the hour. Timexes.
That's
Dude, you want to take me on a
Arbitron
ride with you next time
bullshit.
you do
It's
that?
red. I don't know.
How
I
about
can't
that?
see it. but
Sure.
I'll go.
It's here. I forgot when you were
I'm
here.
down.
Plan right now, we're all planning to go back in like 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years? Alright, I'll be there.
It's not a cheap trip.
I mean, I'll buy it.
Getting there is cheap. Being there for a week is expensive.
That's what I've heard.
I was like, so part of the fun thing. So we went on like a actual snorkeling trip where we got on a boat and went out.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it is.
What'd you see?
It is about. We saw a bunch of fish. We saw turtles, some dolphins.
Nice.
Great. It was a good time.
Sounds awesome.
But so we were out there, and granted, you have to pay like I think it's $110 a person to get on the boat. But they serve breakfast, they serve lunch, they provide the equipment.
That's
obviously
honestly
they provide
not
the
bad at all.
That's not bad
No,
at
and then
all.
on the plus side,
Meant a lot.
drinks are $2 a piece.
Rolling on the floor like
Yeah. Obviously, your son did not give a fuck about that watch.
So, but on the bright side of that, the drinks are $2 a piece.
gave it to him.
So they're serving margaritas,
Oh,
What was it?
don't be like that.
margaritas.
We can't be like that.
Pina coladas and mai tais. But so just put it in perspective, at the resort we were staying at, there was a restaurant right on site, and you could get they had poolside service.
Yeah.
But to get a cocktail in a small little plastic cup, $18 for a mai tai.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
But on this
Yikes.
boat, $2 a piece.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And
Way
stiff.
better.
Stiff as
Get
fuck.
on the boat.
They put 2 shots of white rum, juice, and then a floater of dark rum.
No.
Stiff as fuck.
Nice.
$2 a piece.
$2?
So as soon as we heard them announce over the intercom they're $2 a piece, we started slamming fucking drinks.
Some rum.
So
So
we-
chatas.
You hush.
We
You hush. Is that not what it said?
we had
So, Michaela likes a very stiff cocktail. That's for a Travis.
Hold the
Lisa, Alyssa here can be a little petty. I'll agree with that. You can be a little petty.
yeah, super stiff. So we had like 9 drinks, which is the cost of 1 drink at the fucking resort.
Right.
So we were
Yeah.
we were good.
Yeah,
We're
usually a
chill,
little,
we're
a little rowdy.
Yeah, but yeah, like we went out to me and Michaela had our own like little private date night dinner.
Nice.
Between the 2 of us, she got like some catch of the day. I got surf and turf. We had like 5 drinks and dessert. And I think
Yeah.
1 appetizer. It was like a $230 dinner.
Sounds bomb.
It was really good.
Sounds
Everything's
so
fresh.
good.
So like when you get the
Yeah,
fish
when
and
you're,
lobster
when
out
you're
there,
on the
you
water,
can't-
it makes sense.
Oh man.
So-
I will pay anything when I'm on that, like in that setting.
But like we also had a big
Yeah.
family dinner where we met with some people. There were about 8 of us,
Okay.
and my mom picked up the tab. but it was upwards of an $800 dinner.
Yeah.
It's like in the resort we were staying at, we
It's
got
very much thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh yeah. So at the resort we were staying at, with my family being the way it was, we know people there. We have ties to a lot of people. We got a very heavy.
Petty.
We can get a very good.
Alyssa
good.
has a mouth.
I love it.
Yeah,
She sounds awesome. Yeah, it sounds great.
Like being our family, we can get, and knowing the people we know, we can get a very good Kamina, which means local.
Yeah,
We get a very good Kamina discount.
Nice.
But the resort we were staying at, we didn't pay this, but the resort we were staying at, and the
Give you a
specific
little
room we were
discount.
staying at, is $600 a night.
Alright.
So, and then we started looking because you can see, like, there's certain rooms you can see from the outside are penthouses, like,
Yeah.
rooms
Did you have a
one-
top one?
No, we were on like the second floor. We don't need to do that kind of shit. 'Cause we started looking at Airbnb because some of them, you can rent them out through the hotel, but some people actually buy these condos.
Right.
So someone
It's
actually,
yeah, exactly.
no, like someone owns these $6 million condos on the top.
It's their date and here, but
so we
maybe
actually
you
started
can go
looking
in
around
there.
and we found one of the top floor penthouses on Airbnb. They actually rent it out. They own it. One night, that top floor penthouse is like $4,000 a night.
Jesus.
Let's do it.
It's like a 6-bed, 5
I'm all for
super
spending
dope.
all my money all times.
Me
I have no
too.
problem. But like 4 G's for a night.
That's a little excessive.
So picture it,
That's a little excessive.
4 G's a night. We stayed there for like 8 nights.
What the fuck? What'd
So
you
if we-
spend there, bro?
If we would have stayed in that room alone,
Oh.
that's $32,000.
So they gave it to you for like cheap.
We didn't stay in that one. The room we were at, the one we were at usually is about $600 a night, which still 8 nights. That's $5,000 right there just to be in a room.
Oh yeah.
So then you go out to the dinners. There's everything. Hawaii. The reason like my mom doesn't really live there anymore is because Hawaii is just generally expensive.
So like.
Gas right there now, right there is about $3.50 a gallon.
So I'm gonna tell you, like, if I'm
Which
gonna
really
go-
isn't crazy for being out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but then you.
Why is Hawaii the only thing that if like you want to go spend a bunch of money, they're not the all-inclusive crowd. You know what I mean? Like, because every other place you think of like Caribbeans or like Cancun,
but they've made
or whatever.
They've made it that way.
They've made it that way
They
because
don't have any all-inclusives.
They don't
have none.
Yeah, they don't have to. Now
They
they
don't have
charge.
to, none.
Now they charge resort fees, which they didn't used to do. But
It's
now
expensive to go to Hawaii.
on top of that, there's a $75 resort fee just to use the pool, and you get charged it whether you do or not.
Good night, his souls. Text me sometime, okay?
I know I'm pretty bad about like communicating with my people. I'm sorry. I love you.
All right, nice
Have a
to meet
good
you.
night.
Nice to meet you too, Lisa. Alyssa. Alyssa. Right, is that
Yeah.
right?
She changed her name on Facebook. There's some reasons.
But yeah, just like four of us to go on that Molokini trip was $450. But like, yeah, the
It's a pile of
tourism.
cash.
Tourism is where they make their money because they stopped doing a lot of the exporting of fruits and shit. They did a lot of, obviously you've got pineapple, guava, whatever. Sugarcane's really big. They've also got coffee, which they still do
Sugarcane.
heavy.
Have you ever been down south?
Like,
New Orleans, like down south.
Yep.
What'd you think?
not bad.
Like how far south did you go?
New Orleans.
Alright.
That's where we went out for my sister's wedding. She lives in Lacombe.
So I went like way further south into like what was it called?
I haven't been into like the cousin fucking south.
It was like in the bayou. It was in the fucking bayou, dude. And like the people there, holy shit.
It's a different breed.
It is like by far anyone you meet there, even at a McDonald's. Hi there, how you doing there? You know, like that is literally the breed. It is, and
Yeah,
but at the same time, they have some great fucking food though.
they do.
They have some really good fucking food.
Roll
You
out
know?
classic brown paper on the
Yeah.
table and boil a bunch
They have
of
some
get a good
really
little
good
crawfish
food.
bowl going on.
Oh man, the Cajun shit is fucking. Oh, it's my
Still.
jam. It's my
Yeah.
jam. It's good. It's good.
Really good stuff.
Oh my god.
What's this?
So this is our buddy C-Dubs.
Your buddy.
Well, and that's how I know Alyssa actually is from C-Dubs.
So this was 12 years ago.
Okay.
He is
12 years ago?
He's dope. He's rad as shit. But that's
We
That's
want-
a guy? I thought it was a girl. Sorry.
Fair.
kind
So again, he's gay as fuck.
of. He's gay.
Oh, okay.
But we love C-Dubs.
He's dope.
I'm not a gay hater.
So that's how I know Alyssa's from C-Dubs.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she used to go to the Nard like way back in the day. Her and her person at the time, and they met C-Dubs, and I've been friends with like C-Dubs for a very, very long time. I've known C-Dubs' family before I knew C-Dubs. I don't know if you know this.
No.
So I knew his dad because he worked at the post office and still does. And when I was working on postal trucks my entire goddamn life, so I met his dad like 2003, 2004. Where I met C-Dubs in 2008, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I know Alyssa actually is from her. Like they hung out for a long time. That was like their jam.
He looks much different now.
He's fat.
Aside from that, he looks still, weight aside, a lot different now. He doesn't rock the same haircut.
You park that up. I'll put some clothes on.
I'm gonna drink
Park
this.
it. Tell him what to do.
But yeah, like I love C-Dubs. Don't get me wrong.
I haven't seen
And
him in
I got to
so-
see him a couple weeks ago
I
actually.
haven't seen him in so long, dude.
So I hadn't seen him since bowling in March. And I saw when we were at Charlie's house on Halloween. You know, his mom was there.
Really?
Yeah. So like like the other 11-year-old girl besides like Lindsay's daughter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the other one. So like her mom was there. That's C-Dub's little sister. And yeah,
That's a gap.
there's a story with that one.
Okay.
I'll tell you another time.
Okay. That's quite the age gap.
But yeah, so when I saw his mom's name is Andrea, like when I saw her, like she was like, yeah, like he like doesn't like do anything or whatever, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I haven't talked to him. Like I like popped up into his like Instagram a couple times, like bitch, like you know he's like posting some bullshit, and got no response. And then when Alyssa was up here a couple weeks ago, she talked him into coming hang out on like that Sunday for a little while because she was here on Saturday and like she like spent the night and then like he like came over and like hung out with us for like a few hours on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, yeah, like you're like the first person like people I've seen in like a while. And I was like, stop, come hang out. Like,
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Cause I love that kid and I have for a long time. He's fucking dope as fuck.
Yeah, he is dope.
He's a little bitch, but he knows that. So
He knows.
yeah, I've loved that kid for a very long time. He's been a good pal. And you know, like, I'm glad that like we got him like to do the bowling shit. Like I know like this last year, like you weren't a part of it, but that makes
What it
sense.
is.
It happens. And you know that's just what it is. And we just I like him a lot, and I wish you know he'd come around a lot more.
Yeah.
Plus, we need a little more culture in this corner. So
Yeah, dude. Where's like all them gay and black?
I've tried to get Stefan to come out too. You've met Stefan, right?
I don't think I have.
My
I don't think I've met Stefan.
my like 45-year-old black man.
No, I don't think I have.
No,
I know we talked about him plenty of times, but I don't think I've met him.
he's fucking rad too. He's a little weird, especially like these days. Like he got off like the drinking train and stuff like that, which fair. I wish. I like drinking is my problem. I like it.
I fucking hate it. It's terrible. It's the worst thing in the world.
I like drinking, but like if I could, I would. But I like drinking, so I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got the drinking train, and like he was like he was the partner in crime for sure when it came to like drinking like heavy. We used to go to shows, and it was like we just get fucking hammered. But I've tried to get like Stefan to come on here, and again like today like was one of those things where I was glad like like I didn't do what I was supposed to do based on what happened today. But
Yeah.
like I want Chris on here bad. I love Chris. I love that.
Yeah, we need to get him
He's
on here.
so fucking fun.
Come bring your stuff. You can cut our hair and we can talk.
I have a haircut on Monday with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to schedule another one.
Well, he opened up on Thursday, Fridays now, or Wednesday, Thursdays.
Oh, cool. So now it's what, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, but on Wednesday, Thursdays, he's cutting at the same time as Tyler is. So there's gonna be him and like what?
That's cool though. Yeah.
We understand what it is. But
Good though. That's good for them that they're starting to open up a little bit.
Well, you know, like their situation's so fucking good too. Like, you know, when he was at the previous place, he was paying 85% of his fucking like till was to the owner of the place.
Oh boy.
And that's pretty standard. But at his current place, it's like $300 a month, and then everything else is his.
Not bad.
That's pretty fucking good. Considering I pay him $50.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So like, you know, he does like 10 haircuts a month, and without tips, just the haircut price pays for his
Right.
space.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know, like when he was there, when he was doing 6 days a week, he was doing real well, and I'm glad with Chris. Like that dude, he pretends he's not cool.
He isn't really. No, he's rad as shit. But yeah, he's very humble about it, for sure.
My body is rejecting booze right now. I probably should go to bed. I slept like 20 hours total this week. It is, but
Yeah.
I'm also a tired boy.
Yeah, whatever. Sleep when you're dead.
I've been that way my entire life, and now that I'm like in my mid-30s, it's like, you're an idiot.
Take a nap, dude.
Especially like just sitting at home and doing fucking nothing, dude. I'm so tired of being here. So tired of it. But it is what it is. I think actually we probably should cut it. We're over 3 hours now. Let's do a cut it. We'll drink a little bit more, smoke another bowl, and then I probably should fucking run out because my brain is like not happy. Sorry, bud.
I don't care.
But yeah, we'll just cut it now.